therefore I am still just mostly normal dude who likes to goon. That is what I am.
2 minutes in and gooning had already been said. Truly, the podcast of all time.
Yes, the podcast of all time.
That's gonna be our new quota. We've had the other word not be is a quota. Now gooning is gonna be our quota apparently.
Third topic is sending me right now, as the Zoomers say.
Dude, don't ever say that.
Disgusting.
Sending me. I have been sent. Oh, there we go. Now it's a very long robot penis. Don't put that in the intro, Sonic. I will.
Well, we have the evidence here. And 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone, class has started. Please take your seats, take your notebooks out, because we're going to be having a very important lesson that I'm going to be telling our lovely audiences and also the members of the Combat Kings. Especially you, Mr. Boucher, please pay attention to today's lesson. Now, I have also prepared a sheet here so that I can make sure I don't get anything here I'm saying wrong. So, hope you guys are ready, because today we're going to be learning the definition of the word furry. Hope you guys are excited. Special thanks to WikiFur for all the information I've gotten right here. So, what is a furry? Now, furry is a fur speech term used to describe a person with an interest in anthropomorphic
Teacher, he left
animals.
class. Teacher, Snake left class.
Yeah, how could
he's
you?
walking out. He does not have a pass.
Upcoming,
and he's leaving
joke.
class.
I can't believe he just left. That's unbelievable. But he'll be back eventually. So your common examples, your Lola Bunnies, your Judy Humps, your Robin Hoods, and whatnot. If you're into this type of stuff, then you're called a furry. The other part of it is also if you're into like sci-fi, mythological, imaginary creatures which possess human looks and capabilities. So I think the best example I can think of is like if you're into like the xenomorphs from Alien, I guess we'll call you a furry, right? You know, something like that. You know, Mass Effect aliens and whatnot. They don't exist, but if you're into them, you know, we're still going to call you a furry, basically.
Okay.
Now, why am I bringing this all up? Because the term furry is a nickname for people who are into anthropomorphic characters.
Yeah.
And not because these people just like furry creatures, essentially.
Yeah, I know.
So the term comes because most creatures in the animal kingdom are like fluffy, but if, say here, for example, you are into actually there's a quote here on the WikiFur that says non-furry furries, like furry creatures that aren't fluffy. So for example, if you're into Elephant Mario from Mario Wonder, or like Beerus from Dragon Ball, like they don't have fur on them, but would you really be called a furry? Yes, we still call you a furry even though they don't have fur on them, basically. So that just makes it simplified, essentially. Now that we have gone through the furry term, let's go through the subgenre, because the furry term is a big circle, essentially, and some of the things out of it have kind of made their own subgenres and came out of it, which is where we're getting to here, the definition of the word scaly. Oh, now you see where I'm going with this. Yes, I'm going to talk about the definition of scaly here.
I'm not going to pretend to have not known where you were going with that, Sonic. I knew this was all leading up to the fish conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the term scaly is here because it's like, imagine a giant circle, and the circle says furry. Well, scaly is kind of like a tiny circle in the furry circle that's kind of its own thing. So what I mean by this is, well, let me first say the definition of a scaly. So a scaly is a fur speech term used to describe both anthropomorphic creatures of the reptile and amphibian variety. I didn't know about amphibian recently, so that's kind of funny.
Hey.
Okay, because I'm into frogs. I'm into Greninja. So,
Greninja.
but here's the interesting thing. I think the best way to describe this is like, it doesn't say on WikiFur, but like a brony. You know, these people are like into like My Little Pony characters. If you're a furry, like you probably can also be into like the My Little Pony characters. But if you're a brony, you're probably not into werewolves. Like you're specifically a brony because you're into like the My Little Pony characters. So if you're, let's say you're a scaly, then you're probably not into like the furry stuff and whatnot. And of course, just like the furry logic, just because something has scales is not necessarily the determining factor of a person being a scaly. It's that the thing that they like has to be reptile or amphibian. anthropomorphic creatures on the wiki fur. That's what
Having
it says.
listened to all that, Sonic, this feels like a false equivalency because you compared someone who admits they're a brony, which says what they're into. You said you were a scaly, which even the definition says can include amphibians, so fish. And reptile, like water-like reptiles.
I mean,
so I feel like I'm just been
amphibian isn't all
vindicated. You just
fish.
confirmed what I said.
No, amphibian isn't all fish. It's
No,
not
I know,
like-
but it's a reptile fish thing. It means two life, more specifically. Amphibian refers to the double life, so it's way too specific, I feel. They should have just said fish-like.
Would you really count that for Nina to be amphibian? Like, I feel like
She's
that's
an
more
anthropomorphic
fish.
human with scales.
Because in that case, it's like there's a lot of fish-like furry characters, but I don't think, fish fur are gonna count that as amphibian. That's gonna
Fish
like the
fur.
sea creatures
That's
are
a
gonna,
new one.
The sea creature. Yes, apparently that's what it's
You
called
made that-
on the wiki fur.
Oh.
It's like the sea creature furs aren't gonna be really happy, like confusing these two types. Okay, look, the point is, we can debate about whether or not that happens later on. Like in my conclusion here that I've written down here, I do say like just because SonicHaXD is a scaly doesn't mean he's into Nina Mazursky because that's a fish lady. You do bring up an interesting point, but we'll get into that later. However, it does probably mean that dog is a furry.
Oh shit!
That's the conclusion that I've kind of led up to.
No, because
to
see,
this
I'm
whole entire
attracted
thing.
to the human qualities, not the animal-esque
yes.
qualities. Therefore, I am still just
sure.
mostly normal dude who likes to goon. That is what I am. I'm a
Yeah, I had to
goonarian.
make that entire intro because like a lot of fans loved that introduction in the last episode, basically.
Great.
Like,
I
one
really
of their
am
favorite
happy to
things.
hear that because I was severely worried we are just going to alienate 90% of our audience with that intro that has nothing to do with fighting games or the current events that we're covering in today's video. So I was like, oh, drats.
To be fair, I think 90% of our audience have already been alienated and have left this episode already.
Now,
But-
on a different note, because this would be funny to talk about, Snake, I saw that you brought in the famous sword from that recent Limp Bizkit intro on Netflix.
Yes. And I would like to talk about that. And this is a conversation that will not make my co-host decide, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm just going to go and Bumble and have a look around. Because that's genuinely what I just did. Because I'm not listening to this bullshit anymore. So, yeah, they just put out the intro for the new Devil May Cry anime. And everyone's like, yo, Rolling by Limp Bizkit, that's sick. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I don't like this show.
Oh, damn. Already the whole show.
This
the
is a
the
bit.
whole show's
I
been
was
like,
I'm sure this is a bit, guys.
It's
I'm
not
sure
just
this is, like, a
that,
funny
because
bit.
I
funny.
was already struggling a bit with it because they've cast Johnny Young Bosch as Dante, and like Johnny Young Bosch is Nero.
yeah.
It's really weird. It's like if there was here's the Metal Gear Solid anime, and we've got like Cam Clark or Quentin Flynn as Solid Snake. You know, these people who are very well known for their particular roles in that series, and here they are just playing a different character. It's weird. Like I love Johnny Young Bosch. He's one of my favourites in all voice actors. But this is just a decision I cannot get behind. Thanks, camera. And using a Limp Bizkit. So it's a song I love. I grew up on wrestling. I was in the Attitude Era, Undertaker, Rolling. Hell yeah, brother. But it's just so weird. I don't think it fits Devil May Cry. It's such a strange decision, and also considered by the same guy who made Castlevania, which generally speaking has been on a downward trajectory since season 2.
Did you watch it?
I've not seen it yet, but I am not confident in this Devil May Cry project at all. All.
So I will
was-
say that
I feel like one.
wasn't there like some
you
sad
guys are-
controversy with the Dante voice actor, and like he's been kind of blacklisted, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Well, according to Johnny Young Bosch, Ruben Langdon just retired.
Oh, okay. I hope so.
it's-
Which is a good-
That's better than him
possible
just
that
like
way to
not
put
getting
it.
to reprise his role. That'd be so sad.
Yeah, it could just be one of those cases of he's just saying something to make people stop. It might not be true, but I'm inclined to assume it's probably true.
Gotcha.
It's not. It's
And
at
then, of
least,
course, there's the
it's at least-
possibility that he retired because he's tired of the industry, which would be
Yeah.
a shame. Like, he wants to do the character, but he's like, I'm not going to deal with, like, the whole thing that comes along with that. That'd be unfortunate. I will say the action gets crazy towards the end of Season 2 of Nocturne. It gets, like, really
you do watch
awesome.
it.
Like, I was like,
Yep.
holy crap. And they're definitely trying to, like, just flex, like, how fun their choreography and their animation is. And I think that would lead in great to Devil May Cry if they keep that same level of energy with the animation. Cause it almost feels like they were hinting at that. Because some of the stuff that happens in Castlevania Nocturne feels like stuff that Dante would do, more so than like a Belmont.
Richter's personality. Yeah, I kind of see that actually. I'll say this about Nocturne season 2. Whatever you think about that season, it's really worth it just for those last 2 episodes in terms of the animation and action, because it's just like, oh my goodness, like what I'm seeing on screen is insane.
Yeah,
See, the thing
I think it
with
was
me
pretty.
is
I
that
mean,
I
and it wasn't
don't
terrible.
ca-
Plus, I gotta see because there's 2 different creators. Like Nocturne and the original Castlevania have like some different people involved. So I'm wondering which one is doing the Devil May Cry.
One thing I'm a bit more less worried about the Devil May Cry series is that, like, because Nocturne and even the Castlevania, like, original one, they're very original stories that they're telling. But the Dante, like, the Devil May Cry TV show is based on the comics, right?
Yeah, the
Apparently, my buddy
the
was
prequel
talking about
manga.
this in PlayStation. It's going to like be inspired by the games, but it's its own story. So they're gonna like try to like touch on some stuff, but they're not gonna be like, it's not canon. They don't want you to think that it's canon to the games or anything, because they're gonna do some things differently. Which, if done correctly, the one nice thing about that is you can shove some characters that would arrive later into the story sooner, and people don't go like, oh, that's not when they showed up. But it could be a fun way to get characters to show up way sooner, if that makes sense. Like maybe you want to take a character from DMC4 and shove them into the Netflix show at some point, and now the super nerds like myself or Snake can't go, well, actually, that character didn't get introduced until this time. And it's like, shut up. We want them in the show because fans like this character, kind of thing. I don't know. Which could also be handled terribly, to be fair. That could be a terrible decision. It just depends. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna use that as like a compliment, being like, if you don't like Castlevania's writing, well, luckily there's a based on the manga. But now you put it that way, I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
I mean, I could be entirely wrong. I'm going off what my buddy said, but my buddy said that it's like its own new story, but it's of course going to reference like the games and stuff. It doesn't want to be don't want to alienate people.
From what we've seen, it is using at least the manga as a basis, because the rabbit demon is from the manga.
Oh, cool.
Specifically.
I was wondering about that guy. I didn't know if he showed up in the games or not. I couldn't remember because it's been so long.
There's this
Prequel
weird
manga,
Alice in Wonderland theme for the first volume, and then it kind of just pieced it out because volume 2 is about Virgil instead.
Does the anime follow the manga, like the original anime from many years ago?
No,
or?
that was its own story set between 1 and 4. The funny thing about that was, I think that had an episode, because Trish is only in like 3 episodes. One where Trish meets Lady, and it's basically explaining, I guess, why Trish isn't in DMC 2, because obviously 1 leads to 2. But they hadn't announced yet that 4 takes place before 2. Although nowadays it's actually been swapped back, so that is 4 then 2, 2 then 4. So, but they were explaining why Trish isn't around by DMC 2. But then it's like, well, she's in 4, so I guess they scrambled and said, put in a line where Dante says, "Hey, you can come back anytime," and to suggest she does that, and then DMC 4 happens. The anime was very bad.
I was like, because on this holiday, I was like, oh, I saw the opening, I'm excited. What's the timeline of the Devil May Cry series again? And it's just like, oh, the prequel manga 1, and then the DMC anime, and then a bunch of novels in between the game. What the frick am I looking at?
Yeah.
Although one thing I have heard from consensus to like fans, and I think even almost even the developers feel this way, but like, don't we all just kind of try to like pretend Devil May Cry 2 didn't happen?
Yeah, except for like that cool lady character. I like her design, but aside from that,
it's just, well, this is the game, and the story is very.
There is a light novel that takes place between 4 and 5, and it's kind of like, I guess, bringing closure to all these other plot points. So I think Dante does go back to the DMC2 location. I think he meets with Lucia briefly. He meets with Enzo from the first novel, because he was Dante's previous agent before Morrison, and then it's like, well, he got like fucked up by demons, and so he hates Dante, so it's like giving closure on that. Then you've also got the V prequel manga, which also makes some deviations, but I think it is supposed to be canon. There's a lot, but really you don't need to know any of that. None of it's really that important.
No.
The core series is just the games. It's just 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. I know the reboot was not a prequel.
Yeah.
No.
No. Not at all.
I love how people have that interpretation. It's like, oh, maybe this is how Dante started. Wow, this is how he gets his white hair and stuff like that. Like, no.
Yeah. No, they just wanted to do that because they're getting a lot of flack for him looking nothing like Dante And they're like, yeah, I guess he probably should look a little bit like the character. Yeah. I mean, full disclosure, I don't hate that game. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. And I do think some of the hate was overblown, but I also think it was a really weird decision to make it so drastically different and not expect blowback.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, of course you're going to get blowback. You changed, like, literally everything.
It has been enough time to the point where I have been seeing more people, like, kind of look back and be like, okay, you know, it's its cute own thing. You know, it's kind of like how people look back on the prequel Star Wars movies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe not that good, though, but, like, that's why I've been noticing it recently.
It's a bit of that.
Another funny thing is that when they made the next game, right, Devil May Cry 5, you can tell they treated the game kind of like a buffet, like DMC. They picked and chose some elements from it that they liked, but then, like, discarded the things they didn't like the story and writing. Get that the hell out of here. But the hyper realistic art style, let's try that. Like the rock and roll kind of grungy music sometimes, and some of the dubstep, let's take some of that too. And, you know, some little stuff like that.
That's one of the interesting parts.
That's pretty clever. You know?
Is that because there was that famous presentation where the people who made the reboot were just shitting all over the older games, and then
that
you
was
compare
stupid.
that to
I didn't know about that.
You compare that to the director of 4 and 5, well, 3, 4, and 5, and he was just perfectly respectful towards this other project. He wasn't like, oh, that game was terrible. Yeah, like the most inflammatory thing he said was DMC is back. That was as far as he went with it. That's as close to a criticism of that game as he has, because he was like, there were these cool things they did in that game. We're going to take those things too. But I think another thing that helps people look back on it a bit more fondly is the fact that one of the reasons people hated it so much was, this is the next Devil May Cry. This is the future of the series.
Yeah. Yeah, that always will piss people off.
Yeah, the same thing that happened with XCOM, when they're like, yeah, XCOM's coming back, not as a strategy series, but as like a first-person shooter, and it's completely different. It's got nothing to do with XCOM. Made Spoonie very angry, and but they gave people the game they wanted afterwards. They like, well, here's XCOM Enemy Unknown, and here we got Devil May Cry 5, because we got the game we wanted, and this weird new direction is not the main thing. It's just a spin-off, basically. People can accept it. It's all a matter of how you present it. So, like, people would be a lot more accepting of the weird timeline changes in M1K if it was, well, this is just a spin-off. It's just a side game. The next game's just going to... This next game has Hanzo Scorpion. Don't worry about that. Which is a direction they could go. They could go, that was not MK12. This is MK12. That was one. That was one. That's a different thing. Don't worry, guys. This is the real Devil May Cry. The real Mortal Kombat. We got Hanzo Scorpion.
Gotham Knights. Right? I mean, what the frick are these chains? Not the Arkhamverse. Okay.
The sad part is, in retrospect, people probably look at that and go, I wish that was the sequel to Arkham Knight instead of Suicide Squad.
Ooh. Oh, I knew. Oh dear. Ooh.
At least Wonder Woman isn't dead in Gotham Knights.
Pour one out.
Oh man, we are back, baby. We are sticking to our tradition of just not even getting to topic 1 in the first 20 minutes of the video.
Woo! Let's go. I really hope you guys are still around listening, because we're finally going to talk about the exciting news. Unironically, everything but Conan that we're going to talk about that's new with M1K, I'm actually very excited for this time. Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff. But let's talk about Oiled and Ready, shall we, everybody? Let's talk about Oiled and Ready.
Old and ready?
Oiled and readied.
Oh, do you mean like how Conan is like shiny?
Or do you mean how people got the bung holes oiled and ready for Floyd to just destroy them?
Well, I'm saying that because that's what Johnny Cage says when you pick him.
Oh, oiled and ready. So he's referring to like on set then how they oiled Arnold to make him look like shiny.
Of course, of course. Oiled. And, he was saying like, you know, Conan, you look familiar. Oiled and ready, and it's like,
gotcha. Oiled and ready. I couldn't tell if you said old and ready, like what Snake was saying. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. I just think that's a really funny quote that he says, though.
Gameplay things aside, although this would still fall into the category of gameplay, have y'all seen the pec physics? Like when you win a match, you can individually move Conan's pecs if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah, doing a brutality. It's hilarious. Like left trigger, right trigger does his pecs.
It's
so
like
dumb.
a specific input that you can do to get like if you do the brutality. I don't know how though, but I've seen the clips though. It's really funny.
But they're cowards. They wouldn't do that with the women.
That's what. Thank you, Snake. That's better put than what I was gonna say. I was gonna go into detail, but you kept it very specific without having to go into details.
You know, I
Thank
want to
you.
ask this though.
See, NetherRealm are cowards. They're not the team behind Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 with the 6-axis breast control.
Yeah.
Is that a thing women can do though? I'm just curious. Can they do this?
No, but you still have to like shake their chest or something.
Oh, well,
Sonic. You're asking if that's a thing women can do in the same franchise where people can throw ice out their hands and fireballs and shit. It doesn't.
Is that what you want to see them do? I meant just.
It would be
like,
funny.
Individually.
Yeah.
Individually, I mean.
Yeah, they should
why
allow.
not? It'd be funny.
Look, jiggle physics is one thing. I mean, sure, but I'm being like.
Listen, Sonic.
like,
Here's what they should do. Okay, if Jade does get added to the game, all right, there needs to be at least one brutality where she does the 36, 24, 36, or I want to be able to press like a trigger and she smacks her ass like in the trailer. That's an official Mortal Kombat commercial, and I want to bring. If you're gonna give me jiggle physics on the man, then give me a little side smack with Jade. I want it, and let me just keep doing it after winning.
Sonic.
Just troll the fuck out of people.
Also, Sonic, if Scarlet can control blood flow, she could probably do it.
Oh God.
There you go. Yeah, if you wanna counter.
It's a Scarlet exclusive ability. That'll get people to buy Combat Pack 3.
We have that one amazing artist who like does the pencil comics and stuff. I have an assignment for you. This would be really funny. So, not in Tekken 7, but the game before that, where Eliza, the vampire, actually debuted. Apparently, the more blood sucking she did, the bigger her chest got. It was like a meme.
Yes.
So it'd be funny to have her just standing next to Scarlet, just like not just minding their own business, right? But they're shoulder to shoulder, and Eliza just goes, boop, and just grows her boobs bigger, and Scarlet goes, same thing.
I thought you were going to suggest the meme of the woman staring at the man's massive pecs, but that one that became a famous popular meme. But it's like Eliza like that, and Scarlett's just there like.
That'd be funny too. Or you could have the meme of like the news anchors, like the news anchor ladies on the beach with like the buff guys, and just feeling up the men's pecs without permission. By the way, they just start grabbing those men's chests without any consent.
That is so funny.
Just take that scene, but then just make it like the Lady MK characters feeling up the men, and be like NetherRealm be like. But yeah.
Yeah, they were very proud of their muscle. Yeah. They're very proud of their like muscle technique. Like they did a lot of research into like getting all that very correctly for Arnie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good for him.
Which is cool. But like I joked before or pointed out, Street Fighter 6 had that day one. Like every character has muscle physics.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Which is hilarious and awesome.
Is that all we got to say about Conan? Is booby physics?
I do have a few more things about. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I think like when they added Katana Unmasked, this was kind of like the setup for we're gonna have some more story stuff. Like here's finally Scorpion with his scar. It's not a thing you could equip normally. It honestly should have just been a mask, but now he has his scar, and you can have that as a costume. Cool. I think it even removes his
the Lin Kuei.
Yeah, the Lin Kuei badge. Yeah, which is neat. It's just a shame there's only two colors and neither of them is blue. Because you only get the basic.
There's a second color. I only
found one.
It's
the one color, but it's like when both players use it, the other one will have the just yellow and black, where there's no red. And I look at that and I go. Sometimes I look at it and go, that actually looks better than with the red. Other times I think it looks a bit plain. So I'm not sure if I prefer the design without the red. I know broadly I prefer Scorpion without red, but I think with this design it might be better with. But then of course there's Order of Darkness Ermac. He got added. Very nice. Still no unmasked version, unfortunately, but this is a cool armored look. It's the best costume to go with that cool sci-fi helmet with the skull LED design thing.
Yeah.
It is not at all. It's not that close, but it does semi resemble his MK11 design. Like a little bit. This is in terms of like the armor. Likely it's the closest we're gonna get, probably.
Yes, it's as close as we're gonna get because NetherRealm are fools who don't understand that people will pay money for these designs we never got to use. But they, or maybe they are, because they also gave us MK11 Sector and Cyrax.
It's about to bring that up.
For the cameos, because you can't put that on the normal playable versions. They've really screwed themselves over with this stupid gender swap crap. It would have been way better costumes if they'd just gone. If they just said, no, we're not going to do gender swap. It's just going to be male and female. Just male Sector and Cyrax, MK11 versions. There you go. But it's funny because you look at them and you think, I think they just ported the models from MK11. I don't think these are new, I don't think it's new versions. I don't think any new work was done. Because you look at it sometimes, where like the hatch would open up, but now it's just like a hole that's there. And at the time, just like it feels like a mod. But
those mods were there like week 1 is the funny part, and NetherRealm took like 5 months to add them.
5 months? What are you talking about?
I'm embellishing, obviously, but NetherRealm took a while to add. Yeah.
It's been 5 months since year 2 started, dog.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
It's been like 17 months. What are you talking about?
Has it really, since the Chaos Reigns got here? Oh shit.
No,
not Chaos Reigns.
Oh yes, that's right. It's the it's the cameos. Sorry, big brain fart. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You need to drink more of that coffee. Come on.
I was busy thinking about my own idea, because while y'all were talking, I was gonna bring up, there's no excuse, because Street Fighter V, when they added Seth, they had like 2 versions of him out of the gate and stuff, and I was like, they could have had 2 versions of Sector and Cyrax, would have been fine.
That was a very good
example. And then I thought,
the
intro dialogues take forever to voice record. Did they actually want to have like 4 actors for 2 characters doing all the different like intros? But then I thought of that meme where someone just had like the MK3 like the little robot like static whenever they talk, and they could have just had it do that whenever you pick the male versions of the characters. Like they just say robot gibberish, and that'd be super easy to mod into the game.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like,
the faces though, because the fatalities. Damn, Snake brought up a good point ever since, like, that the fatalities are screwing over a lot of these ideas of easy fixes and stuff, because their faces have to be shown every time, and it makes it way harder for NetherRealm to do little stuff like this.
Yeah,
it's like they made these issues themselves. Yeah. 2 things I want to talk about with the MK11 Sector Cyrax. So one, I think it's really interesting how this is probably like the only skin where the entire model changes. Like nothing resembles the original. Like it's like, okay, you got some costumes and whatnot with some of the other ones, but this is just like a different robot, like completely.
Well, the others have different models, but in terms of like the overall design, this is the most different that any cameo costume has gone. Even the Christmas ones aren't this different.
Yeah. That's what I mean. This was just kind of interesting. And the other thing that I find interesting is this is technically like the only way you can play as Sector and Cyrax from MK11, because they were never playable in that game. Yeah. So this is like a weird way of like how they made that happen in a way.
The only other official way to play as either of them was in MK Onslaught. You could play as Cyrax. He was one of the characters.
True.
Sector never made it into the game for some reason, but Cyrax did. And weirdly, neither one made it into MK Mobile.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a MK Mobile's weird with the characters it puts in. Like, there's still characters from MK11 that they never got around to including before moving on to M1K. Because they put in like 1 or 2 characters every like 3 months.
I find that line unfortunately really sad, because you can also play MK11 Cyrax and MK. Oh, never mind. You can't anymore.
Yeah, it went the way of the multiverses. Dead, gone forever. Can't get that content anymore.
Another really sad. Well, I don't know how sad it was, but it is sad. It is sad because people loved that game back when it came out in the beta. We can talk about that later, honestly, because that's a whole other can of worms. But I will say, yes, we have a lot of new new costumes you can get in Invasions, which did actually motivate me and obviously Snake to go replay this season a lot more. Last season it was just Kalima, and I'm just like, okay. Was it actually even the correct palette? I'm not even too sure. But this season, it's like Order of Darkness Urmak, Scorpion with the Scar, 2 cameo like Sector Cyrax skins. Okay, I'm locked in, and I'll get all these new like vampire skins too for Takeda, Urmak, and Sector Cyrax too. Why not? Yeah. So I had a lot more enjoyment looking for that in this Invasions though. But from what I've heard, based off of like some tweets and DMs, Snake, you suffered a lot. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, so like last time, it's just a repeat of another season, but they've changed around all the costumes that are available. Though we do have some good costumes to obtain this time, but they've changed the way a lot of the stuff works because these are in chests. The keys to get the chest can no longer be purchased from the shop in the game. You have to instead complete certain nodes to get them, and these nodes are the character trials. Now, NetherRealm is fucking incompetent. I've said this many times, but this right here proves that no one playtests this shit because these challenges are absurd. In particular, the ones that I've really struggled with are Takeda and Ashura, because like there's ones where you have to hit these targets with the character's moves, but there are these buzzsaws everywhere, and if you hit them, you take damage. And it's like, well, here's a limited amount of time to hit these targets. Sometimes you have to hit them in order, sometimes it's just to hit the targets, and you have to do all that without dying within a time limit. It's really stressful, and the game expects you to use certain moves and doesn't give you any kind of tutorial on how to use them correctly. Like Ashura's little dash move, which she like becomes intangible. You have to use that to get through a buzzsaw, but stop short, because if you go just a bit too far, there's a buzzsaw right there that kills you. Well, doesn't kill you, just
you gotta time it.
It makes you explode, and then you respawn, and you have to continue that time limit. And the game doesn't actually help you figure out the timing on this. You just have to try and figure it out yourself. And the Takeda one's even worse because it involves using a particular aerial move, but like the version where you also then have to hold forward. The game doesn't explain when to hold forward, because in a normal combo trial that other games have done, I think even MK has done this, it'll be like, here's the little combo trial, do this, and it's like, okay, well, press this button, the game will show you how to do it, and usually we'll even have the controls on screen and go, here's like the timing for it to help the player figure this out. This one says, just do it. You have 20 seconds. If you fail to do it, you have to start over. Also, sometimes you have to go just back out of the stage, back onto the map, and then they got other ones where
that's weird.
And ones where it's a combo trial on a target is usually you fail and then you explode, and then you have to go back to that menu, or you have to sit through a character's victory pose. Just let me restart immediately, or just get rid of the time limits. There's no reason to have these pointless extra challenges. Just make it like a normal combo trial, like any other game would have. Because I'm not learning. In theory, a single-player mode in a fighting game is supposed to help you prepare you for fighting other players, right? But you can't if you're not learning anything. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. When am I supposed to press forward when I'm using this Takeda move? The game will not explain to me, so I have no way to actually get better at it. It's fucking ridiculous. And again, these are the nodes where you get the keys to get the skins. Now, fortunately, I've already got the ones I wanted. I've got Scorpion, I've got Ermac, I've got Sector and Cyrax. Imagine if I had gotten all the other chests except one of the ones that included one of those characters. And I just literally couldn't get it because these challenges are bullshit. Proof that NetherRealm does not playtest this stuff because this is anti-fun. And honestly, genuinely, this has got me to the point where I've decided... See, I have a problem when it comes to this stuff. I need to get all the costumes, even if it's just these shitty recolors.
Oh yeah, we know you have this problem. Yes.
I'm out of that. This broke it. I can't do this anymore.
The shitty character trials finally made you realize that it's pointless.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
All these, and they keep doing all these alternate palettes for the same like 2 costumes per character instead of, well, let's just do ones for costumes that never got those palettes, which would make sense. Add more value to it. No, we're just going to have yet more grey and red palettes for the same costumes that already have 10 each. And I can't deal with this anymore. So I've decided to stop. But what's really interesting to me is, in the Towers of Time, you have the race against time thing where, you know, you do towers to get points, and then you're certain percentages, like top 5, top 10, you get certain rewards. Like one of the Shaolin Monks palettes, like this... I think it's in like an hour or so, the current race against time ends, and the people in the top 5 get that Raiden palette. But I've noticed that typically it would take, because every fortnight, it would take about 1,000 points, 800 to 1,000 points to be in the top 5. I checked like a couple of days ago, where I hadn't played it since last week, and I realised, I've only got like 500 points, which is a good amount to get for 1 week, and I was still in the top 5%. people are dropping off playing this shit because this stuff is just not fun. And the other than those few costumes in Invasions, we're really not getting anything of value, and they're not offering anything substantial because this game is on its way out. It's dying. They are desperate to have any kind of content out, and I genuinely think that once T1000 is out, that's it. All interest in this game is going to be dead. They'll probably try and do some kind of movie costume pack or something like they did with 11 at the end. I think maybe you'll get like a couple people talking about that, and that's it. People are going to go, we don't care anymore, we just want the next game. And you know what? I don't blame them. Because I was rooting for this game until now to try and... Because I like the writing for the main story, and then everything's been happening, the way Invasions was getting better, and then it's just completely gone off a cliff. The way they've doled out the content, the expansions writing was fucking terrible. The way they released it was bad. The emphasis on guest characters that keeps going. All this stuff has just completely worn me down. I'm just like, I want this game to fail now. Because something needs to change. Because if this is a success, they're never going to change. It has to fail for the series to get better. Fuck M1K. It's a piece of shit. It's not good. I'm not doing an analysis. It's going to be a critique.
Yeah. Based.
Very, very proud of you. I had that realization about like last season or two, about like half a year ago. I'm already kind of just like, what am I doing? Like, why do I keep grinding this? It's not like why do I need these palettes?
You'll be back.
Like
You'll be back for the reptile repeat season for the new green palettes. Don't you fucking lie to me, son.
Probably. I mean, for that season at least. Again, I was already kind of halfway out in the last season. I'm just like, oh, there's really nothing too interesting here. But this season, just because of those 4 palettes, I was kind of interested. I didn't struggle. I never played any of those character trials because I went to get like ornate keys from the towers or the some of the survival missions, which were very easy. But yeah, I feel like I've always seen this issue with the invasions, and since Invasions modes got introduced, really, it's like this was never gonna work, in my opinion. Like that was always never gonna be like a really fun mode. I'm glad, in a way, you got to escape this, because I know your gotcha brain likes to want to get everything and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad you're not going through the pain of playing Legacy Towers 300 times to get all the palettes there too and whatnot.
Yeah.
But by the way, which
it also didn't help.
where's the
like,
character trials?
What?
Which Mesa has the character trials?
Oh God. I think
Did you remember?
Takeda's is in the Sundo one, and Ashra is, I think, the Living Forest.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Is there anything you want to add, Dog?
I mean, I don't get why you guys play Invasions. Like, it's just not fun 99% of the time. At least there's unlocks there, I suppose.
Unlocks, that's it. That's the only reason I played.
Yeah. Like, this one challenge that you were doing, Snake, is there any reason you really wanted to finish that challenge in particular? The Takeda one?
Ornate keys.
Ornate keys, okay, yeah. See, it's weird because they were getting really close to making Invasions mode feel solid. And then they made that weird change of, oh, you can't buy the keys anymore. We're just going to make you do, like, challenges to get the keys, which makes it infinitely more frustrating. I don't get why they did that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just like, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's like, we're going to let the players initiate with the gameplay more, so that way, because ornate keys are pointless. It's just like, you have enough money, go buy it, then you can go back to the chest and open it. Why don't you just let the chest be open? Now it's like, where you see ornate keys have a very special way of getting them now, so then it's more of a special feeling where it's like, okay, 1 step back, but now it's like you're forcing us to engage in things we don't like.
Yeah, it's weird because it was right around the time they also added the in-game map that tells you where all the stuff is, so you could skip over the stuff you don't want to play. Like, they would have been like, yeah, we understand this stuff isn't for everybody. A lot of people don't like this stuff, so we're just going to make it as painless as possible. You don't want to engage with everything? Go right ahead. Just go right through to the end. This is optional, this is optional, this is optional. Go on, just skip it. Now they're just like, no, you will play this stuff. You will do it. And we're also going to make it really bad, the stuff you have to play. Who is in charge of this stuff? Genuinely,
Towers
this
of
is
Time,
awful.
Probably.
The Race Against Time was also a dumb idea because people voiced their anger towards that even in MK11. People were like, it takes a ridiculous amount of grinding to be in the top 10, 5%. And then like the next day in the store, they would have the costumes for like time crystal purchase. And you can grind time crystals way easier in Mortal Kombat 11 because just playing ranked every day gave you like some crystals. I just play 5 Combat League matches and you got guaranteed crystals like every day. So it was way easier to farm the currency, which is also an issue in Mortal Kombat 1. You know, NetherRealm, if you want my advice, you definitely don't. But if you want my advice, just copy what Marvel Rivals is doing and just make it to where you unlock the stuff regardless, and players can just save up their currency and buy the costumes at their leisure. That's a better way to keep people playing consistently. It causes less burnout, causes less frustration. It's a proven method. So just do that. Why are you making people... I mean, they're making people grind way too much and play on the game way too much. Most of Mortal Kombat's like audience is like older people that have jobs. So you should probably not want them to play until 2 a.m. just to get that one skin they like. Just give them an option to like grind the stuff normally in their leisure. Yeah, it's just a better system. This method was hated in MK11, and people won't stop praising that game, and it's still a hated mechanic from that game. So, I mean, why would it work in MK1? Anyway, Jarvis, clip that.
What, we're going to open a second channel with clips. The fourth snake rants against invasions.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well, I've never like...
you're one of Invasion's like strongest warrior, Snake. Now you are gonna make an entire dedicated channel for that.
I did find that funny that I'm like considered the positive guy. At least back in the day, I was considered the guy who was more positive about Mortal Kombat 1. But I would only play it like in ranked and casuals with friends and stuff. And I hear you guys are actually playing the game way more than me, but it's in Invasions or Towers of Time. And I'm like, damn, who's the real fans? Let's just be real here. Y'all are the ones actually playing it way more, which is interesting. But about Conan, real quick. I recommend anyone watching check out Diff. He made a couple of videos showcasing what makes Conan unique in Mortal Kombat 1, from his crazy high combo damage, which we all kind of knew that was going to be his gimmick, because they're not going to give him like projectiles and stuff. Although he does throw his own cameo, which is a funny and very clever way to give him a projectile.
But not Motaro, no!
No, that's so sad.
I'm very mad he can't do that. I was like, why not just let him do it and make it look really crappy? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Just have it look stupid, have him throw
and
Motaro.
Motaro's completely static. He just looks like a prop. He's like, ah!
Like
it's fine. Like, it would have been fine. Like... Or just have him ragdoll be funny too, you know? It'd be completely fine. But yeah, he tosses the cameos. Oh yeah, one broken thing about Conan I will say is that his little sword spin that reflects projectiles is surprisingly broken, because on the one hand it reflects in a random direction unless you spend meter, which is not ideal, but the reflect property starts off instantly. So even if like your opponent's doing a string on you and does a projectile that would normally be safe or something, a lot of them he can still reflect and gets to punish you. It's really interesting. So he's got a really, really fast projectile parry, which is making him broken against certain characters like Katana, who have like slower projectiles. It's interesting. I find that very cool. But otherwise, check out Diff on YouTube. DIF. He's got a couple of videos on Conan that are very interesting. Oh, also, to end what Snake said, NetherRealm, if you have anything planned after T1000, you better make that known very soon, or what he's saying is 1,000% correct. People are just going to drop. Like, instantly. Don't wait to just announce it before he's out. Like, announce that there's more stuff coming, if there is. I don't care if you just show Shinnok's pale nipple. Just a PNG of Shinnok's nipple. And be like, who's this? Yeah, who's coming? Yeah, Daddy's back. You miss Daddy? Let's get him from MKX. Don't put that in the intro, Sonic.
Yeah, that's 2 strikes there. Since we're talking about Conan, I have a very small thing to bring up on the table with Conan, because unlike you guys, I actually did not play Conan when playing Invasions this time. So you guys are the gameplay experts since you guys played them. I'm just gonna talk about intro dialogues basically, because
damn it all.
There were not too many.
The sad part
great
is
ones.
This is the most interesting thing about Conan's release, because his actual gameplay he's just Unga Bunga Swordman. He's nowhere near as interesting as Ghostface was. He's not especially fun to play as. So let's just hear the cringe shit the NetherRealm writers came up with to reference various Arnie movies. While once again, he's not doing the voice.
Yeah, exactly. Although I have seen positive things about Conan from the general gist of people playing him. At least
Yeah,
he's like,
he's
oh,
very
he's
fun.
simple fun. I'm enjoying the jumping up, sword slashing, bouncing him into the air, then slashing him down again, kind of play style and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, there's really not that much like in terms of the intro dialogues. It's just like he's a warrior fighting, and he's helping the good guys because he's a good guy. General Shao respects him. A lot of people respect him apparently. Like, oh, this guy's a big deal, guys. Oh, we gotta respect this guy. And in terms of the intro dialogues, in terms of some funny intro dialogues that I have here, there was an intro dialogue where Baraka straight up says to Conan, "You look like me before I had Tarkov." And you can interpret that being like, oh, maybe like a muscular warrior was what Baraka looked like before. But I interpret that being like, so did Baraka look like Arnie before he got Tarkov or something like that? Is that the implication? Because I think that would be kind of funny. The other intro that I quite like is it's between Smoke and Conan. Smoke will say, "You've seen Johnny's films? You like them?" And Conan would say, "He is a poet at heart." That's just funny, like banter between them.
So you've listened to all the intros then?
Yeah, all of them basically.
So,
all of them.
okay,
50
so
minutes.
what do you make of the voice? Because apparently it's the same guy from who played Terminator in MK11, but obviously they've gone for a very different take with this one.
Yeah, exactly. You get more emotion. It's basically the same as last time. It's just like if you wanted to see a attempt with okay. For the most part, I see people have like said that he got better. It seems like that seems like to be the general gist of like the opinion, and whatnot. So, good for you, Mr. Chris Cox. Like, you slightly redeemed yourself after how many years ago was it? Like 2 or 3 years ago, I guess. Yeah, I just think it's kind of funny. That's like a weird way that he got to get another chance to redeem himself in a way, to impersonate Arnold. Like, good on you, man. Is there anyone here you want to talk? Anyone here who wants to say anything else about Mr. Conan here? Because we are kind of I don't know. I feel kind of bad for not saying anything else about this character.
There's not much.
Yeah, here's a closing statement I got. It was a very solid attempt to make his gameplay fun, and I do think his gameplay is fun. But dear God, out of all the characters you could have picked, this was a weird one. And also, I get the idea it was because they thought Arnold would actually voice him, and he still didn't.
Yeah.
That's my headcanon of why they did another Arnold character, is they thought this time, oh, he's going to voice this time. And then maybe it fell through, or they just completely misread the room and he was never on board. And they're just like, oh shit, well, we've already begun work on him, so Conan's coming. Shit. Know what that said? My comment section has declared a lot of them are actually Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan fans. They're like, yeah, 80s Conan, hell yeah, I'm excited for this character. And I'm happy about that, but also, that is a very small percent of players. It's just a fact.
Yep.
It was even hard to get views for Conan. Like, not just me, like every MK1 channel, even if they had early access to Conan, had a tough time getting views. They were like, oof, people are really not interested.
Yeah, like on our Combat Games comment section too, I was looking through like the comments, and people are now starting to be like a bit defensive if you make fun of Conan. They're like, he has legacy, guy. How could you guys be like this mistreating towards Conan? But you none of this before his release. Everyone is just like, so
yeah.
It's very interesting to see like people now talking about the legacy, now talking about the love for Conan. I just think that's interesting. Again, good for you guys. If you guys like Conan, I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just worth mentioning that this character with so much legacy has had one good movie. Pack it in, guys.
Oh!
but I also think that it's important to consider T-1000. If he's not doing like mad wrecker shit in the trailer, no one's going to talk about it because Conan just no views.
That is hard.
T-1000 is a secondary character. Like, he's popular, but if the Arnie guy who like headlined his own franchise isn't going to get the views, I doubt the T-1000 is. So that's also a thing that's going to make MK creators drop off. Like, I'm not going to cover this because it's not going to bring in views. I'm going to wait until the next big thing. So they damn well better make something incredible to show off.
I have high hopes for T-1000. Really, I think this guy could be very cool. I did not want him but I really think they could do a good job with him. By the way, Snake, I did the Takeda trial. Holy shit, that was very hard.
But you just did it now.
Yeah, I just got it. That was what I was doing just then for the last 10 minutes.
Why?
I just wanted to see how hard it was. It's not only you have to do it very fast. Like the time limit is insane, and then if you fail it 3 or 4 times, you're dead with the life lead. That is one of the hardest like character trials I've done in this. Not harder than the Peacemaker one that I talked about last time though, but still that was very hard.
Did the Fantastic Four trailer like just drop or something? I'm seeing a lot of Fantastic Four stuff. Oh.
Yes. Come back to the top. Okay, you know what? We need to. Okay, we're done. We're done with Conan. We're done.
Yeah.
We're just keeping it distracted. We talk about Conan.
Well, I guess
you know what?
I guess there's 2 other bits of MK news to talk about. There's the big one and the exciting one.
Is this related to the topic that's underneath Conan, or?
That's the big one.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the exciting one first?
Yeah.
Is the exciting one related to the color I'm wearing?
I can't see what colour you're wearing.
Pink.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. Then what's the
It
exciting?
relates to the person who is wearing the pink.
Me? What's exciting about what?
Big
I'm
big
doing?
M1K news, Mr. SonicHaXD.
We can talk about that later. Okay, guys, come on.
Oh no! Now
It's okay.
we just got through the boring topic. We need something cool and interesting to get people to come back. Come on, Sonic, talk about it.
All right. So I guess I can make a bit of an announcement. If you guys have seen on my community page, I did upload a bit of a teaser telling the fans that I have finished. Well, I told you guys this before. I've already finished writing from chapters 8 to 14, the video basically. This part I didn't announce yet, but originally I was planning on writing the 15th chapter before I start editing the videos. I then realized after, I think yesterday or a day ago, I was just going through chapter 15, looking through all the secrets, and I noticed way too much. And also, here's the thing. Chapter 15 is going to be the final Mortal Kombat video in my Suck series. It's not just going to encompass chapter 15. It's going to encompass chapter 15, the arcade endings, probably Invasions Mode stories and stuff like that, any leftover intro dialogues I can think of, a giant Liu Kang breakdown, and some final thoughts. I'm putting them all into one big gigantic video, so it's not just going to be a short. Well, I mean that's gonna be even longer. But my point is, chapter 15 is too big, and I want to start working on the this M1K Sucks video series again. So I'm just gonna start working on the chapters, and hopefully they'll be out by the end of February. The first chapter 8 Sucks video, which has been requested by my fans for like half a year now. I've seen you guys in the comment sections, and if things go well, monthly uploads basically.
Hell yeah, babe!
So,
we're so back, baby!
We're back, baby!
Yay!
I'm excited. I'm excited to go back on the grind because I've been just working on writing for like so long, and now it's like I have the scripts all basically ready. So hopefully things go well. If I'm gonna guess based off of how I do things, it's gonna be all the way to chapter 14, and because chapter 15 is gonna be so like much effort put into it, so it's gonna be 1 month delay before that comes out. That's gonna be my guess, but we shall see. And then also definitely in between the release of these videos, Mortal Kombat 2 movie is gonna come out, so I'm gonna do something for that too. So
And
that'll be my
will the
year
podcast.
basically.
The podcast will do something for it too.
Yeah,
what.
we're gonna do something special for the podcast.
Because last time we got lucky because they put it out straight onto streaming alongside the theatrical version. Will we be able to do a reaction watch along this time? Probably not. It'd be nice if we could.
Yeah.
Unless we're gonna watch it at like 240p while with people laughing in the background at all the terrible jokes. Who knows?
Oh, you mean like I get what you mean, like the cutaway, like the audience, because like it's definitely legal way of watching it and whatnot.
Get with the times, Warner Bros. Just give us the movie.
Just let us sponsor it. Yo, give Asia the movie like early, like 2 weeks again, so I can make the first review.
Make Sonic the official ambassador for the movie in Taiwan. That would be so good. It's just like
I'm the only one. I'm not the only person in Taiwan who really like reviewed the movie and let people watch.
You're the most famous one, I would say.
Yeah. We do not care about this series over here, so it's like I would be like the representative. Why not? I might as well.
You're the guy who gets all the weird, dirty looks when you go, I'm into Mortal Kombat. Like, what's wrong with you?
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, hop on Street Fighter and like KOF. We have players actually playing that game over here. We won tournaments over here. You know, Taiwan players and whatnot. What are you doing?
So it's like, you don't understand. I make a living off it. I make money.
Yes, basically, the truth. But yeah, I hope things go well. Basically, when I start working on these videos again.
You hope it'll go well, Mr. Sonic. Do you forget who you're talking about, Mr. SonicHaXD? It will go well because you're Mr. SonicHaXD. Do you not think so, Mr. True Underdog Gaming?
Heard my name.
Jesus fucking
was
Christ.
leaving a meme on Twitter about
Sonic's here to talk about his
Four.
cool projects, and you're not paying attention, dog. I'm not going to stand for
Hey,
this.
I already quote tweeted and talked about his amazing news project starting in February, and I am excited about that.
Thank you very much for that, by the way. Appreciate that.
I think I heard the keynotes.
I hope you get a cameo in the video, dog, as some random opponent in chapter 15.
Hell yeah!
And then the fighter turns around and sees the next opponent, and dog's just there in a bathrobe. Where am I? It's some cringe shit.
If you want, I could be like Floyd. I don't have a green screen like Snake. Well, I do, but I lost it. But I can be like in the field. There's like a grassy field where I live. I can be in the field and just wearing a pink outfit and be like, "Sup, bitch? Ready to go, mother flipper? Yeah, let's go. I'm here now." Point to the sky. Look at turf. Yeah, see that? It's my fucking theme. Yeah. Get wrecked. Get dunked on. And then just like as I'm talking, like and then just cut to me like knocked out in the field. Like
I was thinking of like in the pyramid when like Titan Katana shows up, allow me, and it's like afterwards she's like now go. There's no time to waste, and all of a sudden like what was it, like a villain Geras like shows up and like knocks her out. I was thinking like that Geras shows up and knocks Shonen out. Just like shows up.
That'd be awesome.
Bad
To me, get tackled by
PNG
something
just
off
tackles
screen.
him from off screen.
Yeah.
That could be fun too. For my Chameleon video talking about how people were mad, I will cover this a bit more later, but like there's a big similarity between Chameleon and Floyd. And in that video, I don't think I saw anybody comment how I'm wearing pink and I made the lighting like a purplish pink. I was very much trying to like Floyd the entire vibe, and I didn't see a comment talking about it.
I noticed
like,
your lighting. I didn't notice the shirt.
I was wearing a pink shirt. It's the only pink shirt I own.
I didn't notice, dog, because I was too busy watching the video trying to find some kind of mistake you make so I can comment it and let you know.
I did see your comment. I saw your comment like, well, yes, but you see, in that example, Scorpion was still in the game. It's like, yeah, good point. Yeah.
That's not dog. That was a tweet.
Mm-hmm. It was a good comment, is all.
Actually,
I'm saying.
I'm excited about that debate because we'll talk about Floyd eventually. But I'd like to talk about the other big news, the monkey paw news.
Is this Floyd?
Your tweet, Snake.
Oh, the Snake predicted it. Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Okay, Snake. There was a tweet because people were saying that like, out of all the characters in Mortal Kombat 1, Geras and Baraka were the only ones who don't have a skin yet.
Oh yeah.
And then you made that tweet.
Yeah. Alright, so we forgot to mention the actual premium DLC costumes because they're the least interesting. They're not bad, but they're not as interesting as MK11 Sector Cyrax or the Darkness Ermac. Even Scarred Scorpion is somehow more interesting than these. But so because these are the characters who, Ashura, Baraka, and Geras haven't got any premium costumes before now, and you see, Ice Cream has been like the champion, like the strongest warrior, campaigning for these characters to get something, anything, for like 2 years now, and then I was like, yeah, and you just tell it's going to be so you're going to get it. It's going to be Conan themed though, and the monkey paw finger curls, and it turns out,
yes,
yeah, that's exactly what they did. It's like, oh,
you were exactly right.
I know the Asher wanted to reference to a character from the film.
That one was so surprising to me because I watched the movie and I'm like, oh wait, is that actually reference to that one scene? Now, I have to set the stage for you guys because that skin is so funny. Now, in the movie, so Conan works with like a lady friend throughout the movie, and it's like they work together, do heists, and they fall in love throughout the movie. And then, spoilers. she dies like in a battle. And it's like, oh no, she dies. It's so sad. And Conan is like, oh, it's so sad. I'm gonna bury her, or whatever.
What an Arnie impression! Oh, so sad. I'm so sad. I'll be buried.
I'm not even trying to be Arnie impression. But by like the end of the movie, it's like. Oh, by the way, she wears like warrior outfits. She's like a badass like lady, basically.
Yeah.
But like by like the end of the movie, she just like, well, Conan and his friends are like fighting the James Earl Jones like evil army, and he sets up all these traps. He's cutting people, beating like the horses and stuff like that. And on this one scene, one of the villains is about to hurt him, and then like some sort of like light shines into his eyes, like the reflection of the sun. And you can't see, so Arnie's able to like retaliate. Then Arnie looks at the sun and just sees the girl who died wearing that outfit and just saying, "Do you want to live forever?" And Arnie's like, "What?" And then she disappears. That's it.
That's all
They were
it
like
is.
2 seconds. Yes. When I saw that, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? She's like, do you want to live forever? And then she just disappears. That's it. It was like, whoa. And they added that skin into Mortal Kombat 1.
The insanity.
Wow.
The insanity that's the costume they gave Ashra. The collaboration costume that they gave her was for Conan, not Wonder Woman, as everybody wanted, because it's a sword-wielding character played by Susan Eisenberg. Would have been a great thing to include with Peacemaker. No. We can't do that. We can't even have an equivalent of like a Queen Maeve costume from The Boys. No, we can't have that either. All we're going to have is a Valkyrie from Conan. And actually, it's actually a pretty good costume.
It is. I agree with you, Snake. It is very weird that there is no Invincible theme, there is no DC themes, or the Boys themes with anyone else, but they decided to give one for Conan.
Yeah.
And they decided to give an extremely revealing outfit, actually.
Yeah.
When I first saw that, I'm like, whoa.
I got many likes on my Asra tweet where I showed that you can see her cheeks, but I didn't even see the extent of it until Dog showed me that clip.
Privately, yes. Private clips.
Where I got
He showed
a
us.
clear
Play the clip.
I don't know how to play that clip. Just talk. I'm not gonna play that clip.
Jarvis, play that clip.
It's a clip of Ermac's like grab move where he holds him upside down, because then the flaps come down. You see, oh yeah, that like she's like properly double cheeked up. She is wearing something underneath, obviously. They wouldn't go that far in this day and
Yeah,
age.
but it's like a
Stop
thong.
it.
Well,
Stop it.
it's really revealing though. It's still.
Yeah, because that was the 80s style. You know, one of that era was one of the big influences on MK, and it is neat to see them actually kind of embracing that to an extent. That's nice. You know, all the
I
big
would say
shirtless
this-
men, women, everyone was skimpy back then. The 80s were just all about, yo, show me that flesh, boy. And then MK's like, yo, you want to see flesh?
This outfit is very like funny to me, because I look at this outfit and I'm like, it's one thing to do like strategically skimpy and all that kind of stuff, but this is just like, because she still is quite armored on the top, and it just looks like she's just completely not wearing pants. So it's just like armored and ready and just nothing on the bottom. It's just like,
You got to do those high
interesting.
kicks. You got to do all those high kicks. Whatcha, whatcha. You know, you can't
yes,
do that if
armor
you're
would get in
too
the way,
armored. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, I mean, Conan's pretty much naked, so I think they just wanted to keep that
Yeah,
theme
sure.
going, because there was that meme, right, where everybody was covered, but then Conan's naked. It's like, oh, come on. Conan's outfit is authentic, so why when they bring back the other nostalgia costumes, they're like purposely covered up a little bit more? You know, that was the meme.
But
So they're
this one
probably
is-
trying to get away from that. Too little, too late, NetherRealm. You waited too long to listen to me. Fools. Should have started the game
Oh,
like this.
you specifically. You were
Yes.
the one who advocated. Okay.
Well, because even
no,
in
no
MK,
one else.
even
Nobody else
back
cared.
in
Just
MK11,
you.
I was calling this crap out. Back when it was like taboo, I was still calling that stuff out. Yeah.
Yes.
Listen.
But I will say also the reason why I think it's very skimpy is I think when you have the reasoning of we must like, what's the word? Do it as recreative as like possible, like
Yeah.
bringing it back to like the original. So like the Conan, we need to make sure he looks exactly like that poster. This Ashra outfit has to be exactly like that 2-second clip from the movie.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a nice screenshot on set, but like in the movie, it's very shiny. You can barely see the outfit
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
It's
Because they're doing that dumb effect. Yeah. I will say, I
Well,
hate
no,
to,
I mean,
like,
it's because
I
it's
hate to be
supposed
this, but I
showcase
gotta
that she's
say it.
very shiny.
Oh, it is? I thought they were adding like shine effects to it.
In the movie, it's because she's like really bright, like on purpose, because it's like a
She's like
it's
a Valkyrie kind of
vision.
thing. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess let me find that clip right
Well,
now.
I've seen it.
But
I've seen
yeah,
her like
so-
shining and being all bright. Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like, when you look at this real woman next to Ashra, look at how boring Ashra's like proportions are. Like, her legs are like super thin. This girl has actual thighs and hips, and like Ashra just don't. She's like a coat hanger, as my sweetheart would say. She's a coat hanger. Anyway. Yeah.
But other than that, congratulations to Baraka and Beerus for getting some skins too. They look good. I think they look pretty decent.
Are they based on anything from the films?
Yes, the Garrus is wearing what Conan wears at the end, and is also in his arcade ladder ending too, which is also a reference to the film.
Like the Emperor Conan outfit.
Yeah, he's wearing the Emperor Conan outfit, and then I don't know about Baraka.
There's a lot of like barbaric outfits throughout the movie, so I guarantee you can find something similar to what Baraka wears.
It would have been cooler if like Arnie, like if Conan had that costume instead of just the one costume. That would have been sick.
Yeah.
And,
I agree.
and you want a cool costume, like a character from MK wearing a Conan outfit. Why isn't Shang Tsung dressed like James Earl Jones, who is also a snaky sorcerer? Come on, guys, get with it.
Unfortunately, actually, would it look good? I'm trying to think. The James Earl Jones character, because the thing is, he was wearing like a more barbaric outfit in the movie, if I'm not mistaken. He's not like a sorcerer in the movie.
Well, I thought he was
is,
technically.
but I meant like, yeah. You know what? Fuck it. I'm sure I could do the Ashra quest eventually. I'm gonna turn off Mortal Kombat 1 here. Finding the Ashra is too hard.
Finding the Ashra?
Living Forest is too big. I don't want to play the entire thing just to find Ashra.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, but I'm the one who's distracted. I am, but still.
I've been chatting this whole time. Okay, jeez. What? I
talk too much. I talk too little. There's no winning with this. I can't win.
It is funny how we've all had moments where we're doing something else. You know, Sonic's just playing M1K, doing challenges. Dog's thinking.
Yep.
He's
on Twitter posting memes.
Yeah, and I'm on Bumble. Sure, we're all just doing random shit in the background.
He went to go get the Dante sword. But overall, happy for these characters to get new costumes. Like, do you guys think there's gonna be like Terminator themed costumes then?
I think the most we'll get would be either like the T-1000's cop uniform. I could see either Lee May or Stryker getting that, or they just do a silver recolor for Stryker.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but then the question is, would people be okay in current political climate? One of the cool girl boss characters dressing like a cop, because people get really.
The funny thing is,
people get rabid when it comes to the subject of police.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because she literally is a cop.
Yeah.
So like, if she was going to be like called out, she would have been called out day one, but I don't think she really was. So if she is going to be called out, it's like you're kind of late to the party. That's how.
That's never stopped them before, Sonic. You know this.
Sure, but that would be my argument for that. Because like certain other shows, I'm not gonna say like. Well, it is kind of funny though, because it's like what you're talking about, Snake, is brought up a lot in the show Arcane, and I have seen like basically that's one of the big reasons like people shit talk Caitlyn and her character and stuff like that. And it's kind of like justified based off of some of her actions. It's like, oh yeah, it is kind of a good idea to call her out and whatnot. So like that is something in the fandom I do see. But like for Lee May, it's like, I did not see this really since day one. But if she does get the outfit, the conversation will start, though. I would say.
I mean, I think we're past that ridiculousness, hopefully. But although even in Arcane season 2, I found it weird how quickly they dropped that aspect of the character. Because even in the games, she is still that role. Like in League of Legends, Vi is still like right in the police force.
Well, she still is by the end of the series too.
Yeah, but what I mean is they didn't keep it going the entire time. There's that weird drop off where she was just like not for a bit, and I'm like, I wonder if that's also a political choice, because she could have just been a cop the whole time and it would have been fine. Didn't need that weird middle arc where she was doing nothing. I don't really think it's a political
choice. I think it's more like a there's different parts of the story that now they're going to go through basically, and if she's still a cop, that doesn't change or add anything.
I mean, it's literally her position in the game, but I'll agree to disagree.
But I'm not saying I like it. I'm saying that's what I see in the show. Like the second act and the third act, it's just like it's now that whole Piltover versus Zon plot has been switched, unfortunately, because I really like that part. so that's
Yeah.
why you don't really get to see that much.
We
Yeah.
didn't even get that, like, I get you don't have to reference everything from the games. Has everyone seen it by now, by the way, too?
No.
I think we have, right?
Snake hasn't seen it.
Snake still hasn't seen it? Oh. Does he know about the one character that shows up?
That's such disappointment. Oh.
It's
Okay,
such a good damn show.
I'll try and watch it by the next episode. There's something else. Oh yeah, Nocturne. I'll try and watch both of those by the next episode because I don't think we're gonna have much
And
to talk
Invincible.
about. I'm caught up on.
Oh,
Invincible.
Okay, I don't want to spoil it, but
wait,
I'll tell you guys by the end
did
of this
season 3
recording.
come out?
It's coming out in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
The thing is, I know that's okay. I have a suggestion for what we want to do next episode, but I'll talk about that after the recording because I have a very fun idea. But regardless, like, you don't need to be too much of in a hurry if you want to watch those shows.
I'm excited for season 3 then. I had no clue it was coming out that soon. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I wonder if I can trick my girlfriend into watching the first 2 seasons so she can watch season 3 with me.
What do you have to trick her into doing that?
It's not really her kind of show. She's not even very big on animated shows, and she's also not a huge fan of overt gore. She loved Game of Thrones, but in Game of Thrones, the gore was like the reasonable amount that you would have for a human, whereas Invincible does like the whole literal buckets of blood sometimes. Yeah. You know? So I don't know.
Yeah, well, like my friends aren't really into superhero shows, are into Invincible. It's like they still like the story and how that goes. So maybe she might like it.
I had a thought, and I felt bad thinking this, but they had the trailer for season 3. It shows Invincible like getting stronger, you know, getting more powerful, and they're talking about all of his all of his buffs. And all I could think, no, I'm not spoiling anything, Sonic. I'm not gonna spoil nothing. No, I was just saying they show all that in the trailer for season 3, and my first thought was, and bro's still gonna drop every fight. Like, bro's still gonna lose every single fight, despite them hyping him up, because that's like his funny gimmick is that he loses like 9 out of the 10 fights he's in until plot needs him to
A
win.
man named Invincible loses constantly.
Yeah. Which it was odd reading the comics, because in the comics a lot of those fights he doesn't lose. They had him lose more fights in the show. I was like, huh. So like his name Invincible made a bit more sense, at least in the first season of the comics. But then in the show, he's getting his butt kicked by a lot of people. You're like, damn. Whereas in the comics, it was kind of a big dramatic moment when he fought his dad, because he was winning up until then, but then he's fighting the real thing, and he's getting messed up. And you're like, oh shit. Like now he's getting really tested. But in the show, it wasn't as severe, because you watched him lose the entire first season. He almost lost to cyborgs, like just enhanced people. I was like, oh, come on. What are we doing here?
He did win that, at least. He did win.
I guess. Anyway, I'm excited for season 3, though. I still enjoy the show. It's fun.
Yeah.
Are we finally going to talk about
right.
the biggest thing to happen to Mortal Kombat 1, like, ever?
Exactly.
I'd like to take a break first.
Okay, sure.
Oh, okay.
Just quick
Sure. I actually
Based.
get some water, too.
Valid.
We could talk about those secrets. Secrets going to be talked about here. Ooh.
Secrets.
Oh, I don't want to step on my wiki for notes here. I gotta be
Snake
careful.
told me some secrets. He shared some secrets with me. We had some girl talk. Stop following me, camera.
What the? How much did the camera follow True Underdog over there? Oh, I love the new design you got there, Snake. I didn't know you were trying to go for a Spider-Man cosplay. Okay. I was not expecting the cold shoulder treatment here, Snake. Look, okay, I'm sorry that I took the whole entire like furry conversation too far. Okay, I didn't mean to go that far. Come on, man, you don't need to be. Stop looking at me like that, man. It's just getting kind of creepy. Okay, jeez. Okay, I won't. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, but to be fair, you know, you rant on sometimes for a very long time. I felt like it was only proper to do my own rant and whatnot. And, oh, there he is. Oh, that actually. Oh, I'm. Hello there, Snake.
Hello.
I totally wasn't confused. I totally didn't think that you were the Spider-Man behind you that whole time.
This guy? You're a strange one, Mr. Sonic.
Oh, did you get a haircut, by the way?
I do my own haircuts.
Ooh, impressive.
Yeah, people are always impressed when I say that. I don't know why. It's like just do it.
Because you do cut it pretty short like that. Usually, if it for me, I don't think I would. I like to have it like that short, but I think like that you could like that is easier, I guess, with the
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Cool.
This arrived in the mail today. Ooh.
Another. So many.
I now have all 4 of them. It's this one, the Kano and Sonya one, the I think it was Johnny and Goro, and then one that's just a normal cover. It's got my beautiful wife on it. Focus on my beautiful wife. There she is, my beautiful wife.
There we go. There's a nice focus right there.
And also her smelly ex. Let's get rid of him.
Her smelly ex.
My wife.
Okay, watch this amazing walk. He's gonna go. Oh no, there he goes. We can completely see Shona Dogs.
The camera followed him.
Yes, and he just showed up again, and the camera even focused on his door just then. How nice! What an amazing sponsorship! Thanks to today's sponsorship.
If Dog's gonna insist on taking a million bajillion years, I'm just gonna carry on with my thing. I finally got my Christmas present from my brother because it arrived late.
What is it? The music box. Oh, that's cute. That seems very cute.
I didn't recognize what it was at first because of the design. So to the average person, it's like, oh, it's just a simple wooden music box. But for people who play a certain popular horror game,
Whoa! Snake.
yes.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I know, but it should pick up on the thing so you can record it. This is the.
It's my turn to say that finally.
Yeah.
In the comments section, people are like, "Sonic, you've done that phone in the camera thing way too many times. You should learn." Now it's my turn to say it.
So, do you know what this is, Sonic?
I'm gonna guess Resident Evil or
Nope.
Silent Hill.
No.
Oh,
It's
what other horror game?
It's one of the cursed items in Phasmophobia.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Have you played Phasmophobia?
No, I've seen a lot of videos on it, but I've never played it.
So for those that don't know, the music box is one of the cursed items you can find in a map, and basically you use it to set the ghost off. So if you're trying to get, say, a photo of the ghost or the challenges for escaping the ghost while hunting, you can use the music box to trigger it.
And that's like, I'm guessing that's the song it plays with it and stuff.
I assume so. I've never used the music box myself because I have other friends who are more suicidal and will do it for me. We all get out and they go in and do it.
Is that like an official, like, the music box from, like, Phasmophobia, or is that
I've no idea. It'd be really cool if it was, because I don't think Phasmo actually has any like official merch.
There we go.
Also,
Hello,
this
camera.
bad boy.
Okay.
The muscle girl next door.
Yes, because I've read this.
course.
I've read like unofficial English translations, I think, online, and then I found out, oh, there is an official English release of it. It's only the one volume,
Yeah, that's right. Follow me.
unfortunately, because it was only like 20 chapters long. It was very short, but it's fun. It's actually set in America. I think it's set in like Boston or something.
Show dog the cover. Show dog the cover.
Nice. Is that a
it's
male
like-
character in the lead, or is it a lesbian
Yeah.
couple? Oh,
Girl,
okay.
boy. And so it's just
Gotcha,
this
gotcha.
guy who's like, he lives next to this muscular woman, but he's a bit tsundere, so he doesn't admit that he likes her, but he has a huge crush on her because she's big and buff.
The guy
and,
is
yeah,
tsundere. Okay.
Yeah, and it's set in America, but it's Japanese, which surprised me.
That sounds funny.
Because I feel like normally when you get a Japanese series that's set in America, it's because it needs to be for the things that are being covered. Like Gunsmith Cats couldn't take place in Japan because of all the guns and all the big cars. So it has to be set in like Chicago or whatever. But here it's like in New York or Boston or something, and it's just set in America with her name's Ruby and his is Daria, which makes me think of that one cartoon character.
Yeah,
with the glasses.
Daria. You know, it's funny you mentioned that, Snake, because I was showing Dungeon Meshi or Delicious in Dungeon to a friend of mine, and he pointed out, like, wait, you said this is like European. I'm like, well, it mostly is. Look at their outfits. It's like medieval Europe. Like, and he goes, that letter when they resigned was written in Japanese, and I'm like, oh, what? You can't expect like the artists to all speak English and stuff and know how to write the.
That's always one of the funny things. Is like, even when they're doing a Western fantasy setting, the Japanese will always include Japanese stuff. Or here's this other country that's off down here. That's why they have katanas here, because we need a katana. We can't make a story with a sword that's not a katana, said the Japanese.
That actually upset a good chunk of people in Dark Souls 3 when they added the katana. They were like, no. Like, one of the wild ones was Middle-earth Shadow of War, where like two of the Nazgul are these like two sisters from what is basically China. And we get like a vision of what is basically China. And it's like, I mean, as far as I know, that's not in the Tolkien lore, but it is meant to basically be Europe, with maybe some implication that this is literally Europe in the past, and Middle-earth becomes Europe. So it's not too out of the question. It's just unfortunate they didn't really do much with it. There were more interesting Nazgul in that, like Helm Hammerhand was a Nazgul, like that of Helm's Deep fame. Helm's Deep. I love going Helm's Deep.
With Dark Souls and the katana is also like same with Elden Ring too, because it's just like you have all these like fantasy impossible weapons, and then you just have some far land like samurai guy just shows up like, oh, okay. We gotta have that. We just gotta have it.
And to be fair, even Dark Souls 1 had a bit of Eastern stuff in there, just not a lot. Solaire, for Pete's sake, with like the grass on his pauldrons, is like a very Eastern like thing. It's like a samurai-esque thing. So that was snuck in there.
There are literally like samurai characters in Dark Souls 1 too.
Oh, there are.
The cats, like the cat era and stuff like that region. What's that?
No, I said there are. Cool. They were. I was like, I didn't know. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, there's more. Yeah.
But I just remember, most people were hyped to see a katana because it's just another fun weapon to use. But some people were like, no, you can't do this. It's not, no. And it's like, stop being the fun police. But all right.
It's the Wii build. We hate the Wii build.
It's the funny thing.
Only Berserk build.
It's the funny thing about fantasy settings is that people have no imagination when it comes to fantasy settings, as far as creating them or what they'll allow things they consume that are fantasy to have. You can't have Japanese stuff in European fantasy. It's fantasy. It's made up. Dragons are fine, but I guess a katana is going too far. Shut your mouth. Sit down. Go back to sleep.
Yeah, it's just funny though. But I always love katanas in these Souls likes all the time. That's one of my favorite weapons to use. But anyways, are you guys ready to talk about
the Floydster himself?
Yeah,
Floyd in space.
I'm very excited about this one because I've had a lot of experience with this guy. But I'd say let's explain what exactly is going on, and then talk about each of our experiences with it, basically.
I think Dog should cover this because he's he's not said as much to this episode.
Sure. So, if people followed my channel or other channels that didn't mind covering leaks at this point, because NetherRealm never gives us anything to talk about, so there was Floyd found in the data files months ago. People were like, "Oh, this seems really cool." Then more data was discovered, and they found out it's going to be a secret fight of some kind, similar to Reptile. We just don't know what triggers it, but the files are in the game. It might not even be active yet, but they're there. Then, when the horrible news that the series was going to get canceled came out, the Floyd stuff got removed too. And people were like, oh no, Floyd's also been kicked to the curb. Like anything that was being worked on and is not finished is being removed. Crap. Then, sure enough, when Conan got here, the Floyd stuff came too. And we were like, oh yeah, hell yeah. And that was really cool. There's a list of 37 challenges, which is a reference to the album. It has 37 tracks. Very cute because Pink Floyd. Now, the issue is, for each player, only certain challenges are active. So you can do a lot of those challenges and they won't actually mean anything, because only a certain number of challenges are active for you. And then I think later on it got discovered, it's not just how many challenges you do, it's a certain amount in each category. So they want you to play each of the modes, apparently. So they want you to do some offline modes like versus. They want you to do some Towers of Time, and they want you to do some of the story mode. I was surprised there even was story mode once. That was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
All these months later,
interesting.
giving us a reason, like pretty much forcing us to go into story mode and do some of these challenges, to which there were some workarounds found. Like you have to just do Baraka's door bust and that's it. Leave immediately. That counts. Someone even said for the pyramid one, you can just start the pyramid and after the first fight, just leave and it still counts. I don't think that's true, but someone said that actually counts.
Someone said you can character select and then leave. I played it safe, so I played the entire story.
Which was a smarter move because I didn't get it when I tried the quick option. And what's cool is that these challenges were not directly told. Players had to figure this out. We're lucky that we had data miners who legit had the names of the challenges, which was a good place to start because it kind of teases what it might be about.
Interesting thing I want to bring up here.
Yeah.
The name is like you play either from 300 or 500 matches or something like that, and Floyd will all of a sudden show up in the middle of the stage and be like, "Ha!" and then he'll have like a word that says "No Luna," and then he'll leave.
Like an
and that's your
bomb.
hint.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be able to find all 37 of them like that way, and like everybody's supposed to come together and be like, here are the 37 hints, and we have to now find how to find Floyd that way, which would have taken months probably, but like you said, thanks to someone who found it in the file, it's just boom, 37 names all there.
Which
but we
I
don't
just
know what they are
realized.
still, but we at least get the name files.
Yeah, I realize the devs might be a bit salty about that because it should have taken like months, but due to like data mining, and also to be fair, it's still a little bit NetherRealm's fault. I hate to like victim blame here, but it's a little bit their fault because if they just coded the language, nobody would know. If they just encrypted the challenges in the codes but had them show up correctly in the game, nobody would have known. Like it would have been completely hidden, but they don't. They refuse to do that. So that's another issue. But yeah, normally the idea was that Floyd would randomly show up after a few matches or a lot of matches and give a hint, and that would be your clue as to what the challenge might be. I think NetherRealm was counting on players to each get a different challenge showed up to them and like all list them online together and get a spreadsheet that way. But that time was cut into like 1/100th because like day one the thinny had the every single challenge listed, and then it was a race to find out what each challenge meant or what it might mean.
Yes,
and
exactly.
At this point, if you go on the thinny's page, not only does he have a spreadsheet, he has a full-on active like website now, which is awesome. Like you click to it, it opens a little page. You can type in your PSN account or your Steam account. It even tells you which challenges you already have done. It tells you what to do to unlock the other challenges. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, my point is now if you want to try to do the Floyd challenges, they're actually correct. When I started and had a lot of vigor in my body, I was ready to go. A lot of them were incorrect. So I feel like I was wasting my time. And now that they're correct, I don't feel like being bothered anymore. I'm like, I don't really know if I care that much. But when I have free time, maybe I'll give a crap again.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's about joining the community, joining the conversation.
I know.
If you're not motivated for this.
So if you complete a set number of challenges, Floyd shows up. You get to fight Floyd. You don't get unlimited attempts. You get like 4, right?
Wait, I have a correction here.
Yeah.
2 things. It is confirmed. Every person just needs to complete 10.
Gotcha.
It is confirmed 10
Okay.
out of 37. And also keep in mind, some people, for me, I only completed 9. I'm like, well, I completed 9. I already met Floyd and stuff like that. Or some people completed 8. The reason for that is because some challenges overlap.
Oh, yeah.
So that could happen. You could have a Floyd in it, and it actually counts for 2. But you wouldn't really know. One of the biggest challenges that always overlaps with everyone is the, it's called Jumping Gets You Nowhere, which is win without jumping. And when somebody does that, someone does something like win only punching, win only kicking, they will overlap with that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So but it is 10. We have found out that we just need to do 10 out of the 37 like challenges.
Yeah.
And 3 chances, not 4.
There you go.
But
I
you
will
can
say that
change
some of the challenges are
characters.
really stupid.
Because you go right into it with your current character, but you can, I believe, according to you, Sonic, you can just, or maybe it's a dog, you can just pause it, change character. You lose one of your chances, but you do get to switch to a more advantageous character.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Yes.
Which was
And
hilarious
people have
because
stated that.
y'all might not know this unless you follow Sonic on Twitter, and even you don't know the true story because in Discord we got to be there every step where he was having a mental breakdown at one point, borderline. He was like, I am so pissed. Like, I got to fight Floyd, lost. Now I got to do the challenges all over again. And people still hadn't confirmed the challenges.
I will talk about my entire journey in just a bit.
Are you doing a video
I will say
on it?
before you get started, my favorite part was the pop-off. Cause I just see you on Twitter just torching the crap out of Floyd. Like, yeah, easiest match I ever played. F you, Floyd. Then my favorite was the post of Reptile spitting the acid on Floyd's name. It's like, yeah, Floyd, I spit on you.
I spit on you, Floyd. You guys have no idea how much pain I endured.
Moments, if you will.
The hawk spit on that, Floyd. Yeah, I feel like at this point though, dog. Personally, I think you're very close. Like, I feel like you are.
That's why I'm annoyed, because I don't know which ones I'm missing.
But yeah, Snake. Did you try like attempting like Floyd attempts or?
Well, I did manage to come across one at random while I was just playing as Conan early on. I just randomly got it, no idea what challenge it was. Even though I've looked through the whole list, I still can't identify what it was. I was just hitting him with a sword, and then I've managed to track down 3 more. But I've tried most of them, and I've also heard stuff like which challenges are available, like changes daily or something. Maybe
that's false. I guarantee you that's definitely false. So it's just the challenges are really hard to find sometimes.
Yeah. So the 10 I was given are the ones I've still got to go find those 10.
Yes. It doesn't change. Yes.
So I got 3 others. I've identified which ones those were. I kept a note of those. So then it's a case of going back and trying to figure out the rest. It's just annoying because. In order to do it quicker, I'll put it to one round, but then it's like it's like you have to get a double perfect. So then I have to go back to the menu, switch, and go through the arduous process of going through every single slow animation of the menus to get back to do a 2-round match. Absolute pain in the ass. At a certain point, I just stopped. Until people had everything finalized. Like, here's definitely everything how it all works. But I absolutely. I'm in agreement with a friend of the show, History Behind the Warrior, when he said, Floyd is a really cool idea, but the process of actually getting to Floyd is fucking miserable.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I feel like it would have been better, because it's meant to be a throwback to the early days, right? But back then, it was much simpler to do it. You just had to know how. And finding out was the tricky part. Like, that was that knowing was the half the battle that was difficult, not the actually doing. And so I feel like it would have been better to kind of harken back a bit more to that. Like, here's all these challenges. You have to do like one of them or something. You have to do one or something, just a way to make it a bit more like the olden days, or you get clues more often, because. I don't like the entire process of doing it. It's so crap. I can't stand it.
Okay, so I think now I can talk about my journey through this entire process. Now, for context here, the moment Floyd dropped, I didn't go instantly into it. I kind of waited for more clues when because not every clue was solved, and also. I had a vacation coming up, which meant that I literally could not be able to touch my computer for the next 6 days. And my goal was to get Floyd before I go on vacation. So that's what kind of motivated me to hurry up with that. So I actually, funny enough though, I did finish Invasions first, and I thought maybe I'll get some Floyd clues doing that. Nothing in Invasions. If you play Invasions, you get nada, zilch. You get absolutely nothing.
You can in Towers of Time, which is part of Invasions, but you can't in Invasions.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Weirdly enough, yeah. But I mean, yeah, exactly. They want you to play Towers of Times, but not Invasions. So I did some challenges, and then I just kind of some of the easier ones, because there are some that are brain dead easy, what is it? No Elder God, which is get first hit against Raiden, go into a match, look at Raiden. Punch him, okay, get out. Stuff like that. And then there are some that are just a bit more tedious. I don't think there's any that's difficult, just tedious. Do 5 fatalities with one character. Wait. Do 1 fatality with 5 characters, and then there's do 5 fatalities with 1 character. So these are just keep playing the game, and then you eventually get that, which is a little bit tedious for that kind of stuff. I got, in my opinion, very lucky the first time I met Floyd, because I did not get those. There are some challenges that we do not know how to trigger yet back then, and I didn't get those. So the story mode stuff, or the Towers of Time stuff, I didn't get those. So like when I met Floyd, I think I did like there was a rumor to do Liu Kang and like have him the 333, which turned out to be false because right now we know the Liu Kang challenge is play Liu Kang with cameo like Kung Lao in a arcade tower, which I got that the second time, funny enough. But I'll get to that in just a bit. So I got Floyd. I was pumped out of my ass. I was like, holy shit! I actually found Floyd this first time. I'm the first one in the group chat finding him, and then I went to attempt him. Snake, you have your issues with the method of how this is being like done. You're gonna have even bigger issues if you eventually do meet Floyd. I'm just gonna say it here. You have about a 5% chance of ever winning against him. Because this guy is very hard and very bullshit, but on purpose, basically. The first time I fought him, I'm not good with Liu Kang. I like know his 30% combo, but like I don't even know how to use like the cameo Kung Lao really good too. So you kind of see me. I actually recorded my whole process playing that. You see me like very panicking, basically being like, "Fuck!" Like I don't know what I'm doing here and all that kind of stuff. Floyd will do many bullshit strings. Well, I wouldn't say it's too bullshit, but like he reads you pretty good. Is one way to put it. I remember Liu Kang has like the dragon kick where he does the fire force and he shoots the dragon over kind of ability. You know that like projectile Liu Kang has.
Yeah.
Fire force, and then when he get hit and he kicks over there, basically.
Yeah.
I remember this one time. The moment I inputted that ability, and he's still doing the fire force, and you see the dragon coming from the background, like going towards like the opponent. The moment I inputted it, the moment I do the pose, Floyd just ducks right in front of me. Instantly, like 0.1 seconds. I'm like, you motherfucker, you are input reading me instantly for that kind of move and whatnot. Fighting Floyd is kind of like tossing the dice sometimes, because sometimes he decides he wants to do a 50% combo. Sometimes he'll drop it and just do like a 10% combo. Sometimes he'll taunt in front of you. And when he taunts in front of you, you can actually do a combo towards him and get a lot of damage, which is awesome. But yeah, so long story short, my first attempt against him, I failed, and I like felt complete dread. Fuck! I was not happy. I was like completely out of it. I was very excited going into this journey basically, but after that I was just like I was just kind of like I sucked the life out of me essentially. But I didn't give up. I kept kept trying basically. And this is where I found out something pretty gnarly. If you want to get Floyd again, like the challenges you had in the first time, they reset and they're all different now. Somebody said like, oh, everybody just has the same challenges. You just got to repeat and do it again. That's not true.
No, it's not. Yeah.
It resets and then you get completely new challenges that you have to try out. So, and again, back then the sheet wasn't finished yet, so I had the same idea with like, I think you said, Snake, it's like daily reset. So I kind of wait till like, oh, maybe I can wait till 12 a.m. and I'll try these challenges again because they're not working right now, and whatnot. And this time, the second time I was very unlucky because I got some of the more later challenges, which is like play arcade mode, play Towers of Time mode and stuff like that. Eventually I got to the point where I was just almost done with it all and completely like don't know what to do because I did every single challenge and it still didn't like proc. And so I did the crazy thing and I also just played all the challenges again just to see if I missed anything or if I've like done anything wrong. And the final challenge that I was like completely already out of it and I had no like motivation to be like I missed it. I can't find Floyd before going for the vacation. This was the day before I played Fortnite with you, Snake, by the way, the hour before like that happened. Because Snake invited me to play like Fortnite. There was one challenge that says challenge accepted, earn 20 points from Towers of Time daily weekly challenges. Originally it says earn 20 points in the Towers of Time. And I thought, well, you can play like seasonal towers or legacy towers and you get 10 points by just playing that tower. But what I didn't know was the actual correct thing to do is you have to get the points through the challenges, like the weekly and daily challenges. So I played that and nothing happened. So I'm like, I got 20 points, so that's it. But then I had that like thought in me and it says, well, what if I do the weekly challenge just to get the dragon crystals and then like the points? I did that, and then I just thought, okay, I'm done. Like I'm just not gonna meet Floyd, but I'm whatever, sliver of hope. Go to the challenge mode, boom, he appears again, and that's my Floyd re-challenge video basically that I posted on Twitter which I'm just like, and I got Reptile basically. I didn't know you could change characters the first time, so then that's when I got Reptile the second time. And then he was the easiest second challenge I've ever done, like going up against him basically, which is why you saw my like reaction like that. Fuck you, Floyd! That's it. That's it. It's over. It's over. It's over. My weekend is fucking done. That was it. That's all I wanted to do. That shit was so fucking easy. It is unbelievable. It was like playing the easiest fucking bot ever. You know why? Because I actually fucking got my Reptile character this time. You know what's really funny? If I would have gotten him on the first try, like when I was on Liu Kang, I would have been screaming in happiness. This feels like revenge. I got my satisfaction revenge. I want to go into the fucking hook mod and perform every single fatality onto Floyd for what he made me do. My journey fighting Floyd was excitement and happiness, and then it all went crumbling down after I lost to him. Then I felt dread, miserable, and then I felt nervous fighting Floyd. And when I beat him, I felt anger. I felt like I was trash talking someone in Marvel Rivals. Yeah, fuck you, little bitch! You bitch ass, stupid!
Oh, damn.
Basically, because it's more like, I wasn't necessarily happy. It was more just like, I fucking got you, little motherfucker, kind of a feeling, basically, when I finally got Floyd. So, yeah, that was my, like, Floyd experience, essentially. I should probably talk about the rewards that you get if you actually defeat Floyd, because that is something that we haven't talked about yet. You will get some combat cards. So you get like the field background that says Floyd, the nice like rainbow like ninjas and stuff to reference Floyd, and then like it's just literally Floyd, the pink ninja, doing some poses in the combat card. But some interesting things you get is you get a pink pellets for Scorpion cameo and Sub-Zero cameo, which is pretty cute. It's honestly, that's more just for like showcasing to the people, like, I got him basically.
Although it's worth noting that the masks remain their normal colours, so that people don't mix them up in the background. Like, oh, it's a pink one. Which one is it? They both have the same skin. No, it's you can tell if it's Scorpio or Sub-Zero just from looking.
It's kind of smart, but at the same time, part of me just kind of wishes it was fully pink. But I'm like, okay, I get it. It's like you gotta differentiate Scorpion and Sub-Zero. But the biggest thing you get by defeating Floyd is the stage, like the field from the first trailer that Mortal Kombat 1 had, essentially, which is definitely a very like really interesting stage, honestly, that just like you do all this and you're rewarded a stage. If you're rewarded like the things I just mentioned ahead of time, I'm like, okay, that's cute, but you get a stage. That's actually one of the biggest motivating factors why I decided that I really wanted to do this, basically, because I use it in my videos and whatnot. Funny thing is, if you get the new stage, the stage select now, remember it's like on the bottom right it says like the little random like question mark, basically, if you want to pick a random stage, that turns into the new stage. And now on the top left it says press square for a random stage, basically. Also, like the stage itself is called field, but if you select the stage, the announcer will say outstanding.
That's fun.
Which I was like, oh, that's very cute. I wonder if it's because the stage is very like marvelous, or if it's because it's like, oh, you got the stage, or outstanding, or something like that. Yeah. Every character says outstanding, so it's just kind of cute. So Johnny will be like outstanding, Havoc outstanding, and whatnot.
Watch it be like something way less interesting, Sonic, and they just didn't have time to give it a new name or voice recording, so they just took a line that everyone already said.
Maybe.
Just threw it in there.
Oh yeah, maybe it's like one of those like in like the what do you go, test your mind, excellent, or something like that when you succeed.
Yeah, it's one of those, and they just threw it in there.
It could be a way to try and avoid leaks from any of the voice actors mentioning.
Yeah, I guess, but the stage is just called field. It's not like that's the biggest like field. Oh, what kind of stage could that be? Ooh. The funniest thing about the stage I've seen currently online is the fact that like the very thick grass that's in the wind, like blowing on the ground, and people have been finding many funny like clips that you can do there. You can throw Cyrex bombs on there that turn invisible. Ghostface goes onto the ground and like crawls. That's now like a really big advantage.
Why is this not the game that had Rambo? Because he can crawl through the grass.
Perfect, yeah. Someone did a very cool thing. It's just like you doing the fatalities on a stage. It's just like you get that thick grass with like the black and white background, and like someone did like the Ghostface fatality on it. It actually gives like a very cool like Dead by Daylight like vibe to it and stuff like that. Yeah, basically, I would say despite my hatred towards Floyd and what he made me do, all the suffering he's put me through, and all this kind of things that happened, I think this is one of the coolest things Mortal Kombat has ever added into the series. I think not a lot of video games do these like extreme, like even like AAA video games really do this much of an extreme like measure to add a secret into the game that the entire community comes together to like look for and share their experiences. And like you see online many people talking about, oh my gosh, fuck this shit, dude, I'm like having a like seizure finding this thing, and then you see people be like, I did it, I found him, and I'm having all these like reactions. It's been a lot of fun just looking at the community come together, talk about their experiences, and like yeah, overall I personally find this to be one of the coolest things that like they added. And as I told you just then, my experience was just so much up and down in terms of emotion that I'm never gonna forget about this. Like I think I think Floyd is a very cool addition to this series.
Yeah, no, I do too. And people are saying now he might be in like the next game. Like, oh, it's what always happens. Like they preview in one game, then they're playable in the next. And I'm like, listen, that would be cool, but it's not a guaranteed thing. We would like that, but
no.
I mean, yeah, with Floyd especially, just because he is such a goofy little pink ninja boy who fights with rainbows, he has like the least likely chance of coming. But we'll see.
The thing is though, like just like Reptile, Floyd is going to be like very changed up, you know, because like Reptile in the very original game was just stolen assets, and Floyd in this game is completely, well, not completely, but 90% stolen assets too. So if he were to be in a new game, they would have to flesh out this character, make him like different, and like add new things and lore and stuff like that. Although there is this part of me that just kind of wishes he's a secret character. Like even if he comes back, he's still a secret character, because that's like that'd be very interesting. Like make that'd be like the special thing with Floyd, like the secret character.
I think the overall, if we were like to summarize it, the Floyd event was very fun, but handled kind of wishy-washy. Some of the challenges are just not fun. The fact that we don't know which challenges are for us, you know, all that. Yeah.
Some of the challenges.
Well, that's
are
supposed
also
to be the point.
Some
like,
challenges
you're
are
not
also
supposed
dumb.
to find it.
There's one that involves playing as Johnny Cage and doing a certain thing, and it's called "This is where you fall down." Who on earth?
Yeah.
Who on earth looks at that and doesn't think, okay, beat the opponent, don't do a fatality, let them fall down, imitating the scene where he says the line. Why is that not what it is, guys?
My idea was thinking
Even the
like
smallest
fight an
things dead
opponent with
around
like
can't
a
even get
Goro
right.
cameo or something.
That's what I would have thought too. Fight Goro at Johnny Cage, yeah.
Stuff like that. The requirements definitely are very weird. Some of them.
Yeah, they're too difficult to where if we didn't have like people data mining all
They're
working
not
together, like we never
hard
would
to
have known.
do though. It's hard to find, but they're not hard to do. Like
Yeah.
for the like the yeah. What was it called? But
Some of them
but
are
I think
really
that's also the
stupid too. Like,
appeal.
wasn't the Jade one like win with just left kicks or something like that? And I was like, what?
There's like win with punches, win with kicks, win with front kicks. There's 3 of them like that.
Yeah,
Basically.
win with front kicks. I was like, what the heck is this? What is it just win with front kicks? So stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
Sans
think still it was
Jade
the coolest
kicking
thing to
in
happen in
Fist
a
of
while.
Fury.
And also, I wanted to bring up something funny. So there was a post by the animator at NetherRealm, and he's not wrong, but it was sad to learn the truth behind these numbers. He posted like neat because the numbers shot up way high for Mortal Kombat 1. Like there was way more people watching on Twitch, is what I'm saying. Mortal Kombat's always at the bottom. It's always behind the big 3. It might still be ahead of some fighting games, but it's always like at the bottom of the big 3 when it comes to Twitch viewers. And finally, it was at the top by a good amount. And then it turns out that's just because Maximilian dude was doing the Floyd hunt. And like everybody was watching him.
Yeah.
Which, that said, it's also embarrassing as the FGC that one guy can completely shift, you know, the entire scenario. That's crazy. You're telling me that based on whichever game Max is playing, it's suddenly the most watched fighting game? We need more Twitch streamers, is what I'm saying. We need more big Twitch streamers, guys. Come on.
I have heard it's similar for
dog?
like
True Underdog streaming.
I
Ooh,
should
is that
start
the
doing
next,
that. I just don't know
era?
when I find the time, but I should do that, honestly.
Maybe if you made less clickbaity videos, you'd find the time to stream.
How dare you? How dare you?
Well, interestingly, like not even like suggesting this is a bad thing, but like going the streamer route, then having someone like edit for you, or like you just take clips from your stream and just turn that into like a daily video. Isn't that like what Moist Critical does and whatnot?
Max does it.
Yes, different
A
types
lot
of
more
content
Max.
typically
Yeah,
though,
a
because a lot of Moist Critical, just like Asmongold, they're just talking about stuff. A lot of it's not like gaming. So I could do that, but it'd be a huge shift in like the kind of content I make. Is the only issue, but I have considered it. I also didn't want to have to hire an editor because it just adds more steps. You think, oh, they'll just do the video for you, but that's not true. You have to like tell them in detail what you want out of the video. You have to preview it, revise it, and then post it. Unless it is just literal clips, like what Asmongold does. But if you want actually edited videos that are good, then it's trickier, I feel like. I guess Sonic's giving me advice right now. He's typing something.
Oh no, I'm just typing the fact that like you can, if you use Shujinko against Floyd, Shujinko can copy like multiple moves that Floyd has, like legitly, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty neat. That's a very cool touch they put in the game. I guess they had to though, otherwise Shujinko would have been a useless cameo.
Like he's not
to fight against Floyd.
Yeah, it would have been terrible. And then again, it looks like he's just stealing moves that Floyd also steals. He's not doing the rainbow attack or anything, huh? Oh, the lightning. That's cool. The lightning's new.
Yeah, he does have lightning. Yeah. I did remember seeing just like a lot of people, especially after like playing against Floyd, and are like, because you can use hook mod to literally just play as Floyd and just gain access to the new field stage.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got a lot of people doing like their hype combos with Floyd and stuff like that, and like people now are like having fun with him. Like, oh, this is really fun, just being like doing all these really flashy combos.
I just thought, why did they give a Floyd palette to Scorpion or Sub-Zero instead of just giving the Floyd model to Shujinko, who already steals moves?
Yeah.
Well, that won't give value to Shujinko.
I'm still disappointed you can't get a pink palette for the main Scorpion and main Sub-Zero. It's just the cameos, right?
Yeah.
That was super lame.
Yeah.
I was like, you could have given it to the main characters too. It's just a color.
Yeah.
It takes like 3 seconds to do.
It really should have been like,
cool.
if you overcome this insurmountable challenge, it should have been like every male ninja gets a pink palette. Every single one.
And you know what, NetherRealm? Here's an idea for free, okay? You can steal this idea. You don't even got to credit me, all right? Because Mortal Kombat's going to die down pretty quick again, back to its like usual numbers, at some point you should implement a new scenario where do all 37 challenges. They all become active. If the player does all 37 challenges, they unlock Floyd in offline modes. So he's not usable in ranked or casual, but he's usable in Towers of Time. He's usable in like local play. He's usable in practice mode, all that stuff. That'd be pretty dope, I think. Let us actually play Floyd. You could just give him out for free too, but if you want to make it like a challenge that brings everybody back, that'd be fun, I think. And it would also make use of all the work you've done with all these challenges and stuff.
Or at least, like, if you do all 37 challenges, you unlock, like, a thing on the menu where you can just re-challenge him as many times as you want.
Yeah.
Because if it's going to be that difficult, it shouldn't be so time-consuming to get back to fighting him again. Like, you've done it once. Let us... Why is it not just that from the beginning? Just do these 37 specific things, and now you get to fight him as many times as you want.
I'll explain exactly why. Because something that you got to understand about Floyd is they don't want you to fight him. That's why I really appreciate this secret. They literally actively are trying to not let you find this character. Like, they don't want you to like even acknowledge his existence. That's the interesting thing about them. Like, even if after you unlock this character, it will say, like, because sometimes it'll say like you get this palette because you play the story mode. You got this from Invasions mode. Everything that you get from Floyd, it just says question mark, like how you got this and what kind of stuff. Because that's like the whole entire like appeal about Floyd is how difficult it is to like get him. Also, yeah, we mentioned this before. Like the whole thing Ed Boon wanted to do, like he wanted to add this like secret character that's like, oh, it's gonna be like reminiscing to the old like Mortal Kombat games, and it's like people are gonna like make it like a playground rumors and all that kind of stuff. Like that's why it's so bullshitly hard and why it's so like difficult and like obscure and all that kind of stuff, because that's the allure. That's why I feel kind of like happy and proud that I actually got the stage because of how much bullshit and how much tangles I had to go through and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just what I'm saying.
Fair. Yeah, did they even mention Floyd on the official Mortal Kombat 1 Twitter?
No.
Yeah, he's not even there.
Yeah. No, like, why would they? It's a secret character.
Yeah,
like,
I guess so.
Yeah. Although I will say this though,
Kind of a bad marketing standpoint, but yeah.
Floyd is definitely supposed to be a character that comes out with Chaos Reigns. Pretty sure with that interview. Like I'm pretty sure.
It's just
Yeah.
delayed.
I think
yeah.
Ed Boon specifically was like, "Oh yeah, when the update happens, there's gonna be like a secret, like Reptile and stuff like that." And then it's like, "We're not done with it yet." Ah, crap! I'll just keep working on it behind the scenes. And then finally, like, okay, we're finally done with it in this Conan update.
I like making the camera pump fake and follow me to like center. Yeah.
By the way, Dog, you suggested about letting Floyd be like a secret playable character. I think that'd be fun, just to have him be like a little bonus character. Although definitely just a fun bonus character. Definitely cannot play him in like legal tournaments.
That's what I said.
Here's
yeah.
exactly why you can't do that. Someone posted how
Just
pro
like
MK1
you couldn't play
players
Akuma
use
in Street
Floyd.
Fighter 2. It wasn't allowed at tournaments either. Yeah.
Ah.
It was a busted character. Yeah. The sprint.
I guarantee you, Floyd is like, because you talked about how you use Hook Mod in Mortal Kombat 9 and played Shao Kahn. Floyd is definitely a situation like that where he held back when you went against him, basically, because he has so much bullshit and whatnot. If you actually like played correctly with him. One thing we did gloss over with Floyd is the Floyd equals Chameleon controversy. Drama. Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those like drama, not really drama. Some people are taking it very personally, but most people are just enjoying the meme. And I thought it was a fun idea for a video topic. I'm like, oh yeah, this could be fun to talk about. And it did okay. It's like approaching 30,000. For anyone not aware watching the video,
nice.
Chameleon pretty much did exactly what Floyd is doing now. He has all the male ninjas moves. But you could also point out that's the same thing Reptile did in MK1, like the first Mortal Kombat. And then you had the same thing with like the other sneak peek characters that were hidden. They were just copying other people's moves. Like didn't Jade also copy Katana's moves and someone else's when she was a secret fight?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's kind of just what they did. So on the one hand, it's just like, business as usual, but people are pointing out, dang, in the game that has every single ninja character except maybe like one or two, and Chameleon's on that list, here comes the character with Chameleon's entire shtick. But hey, it's okay because he has the rainbow wall, which I love. He just summons a freaking rainbow wall behind you.
Rainbow Wall. He has something else, but I forgot. But the Rainbow Wall is definitely a new move that he has. That's his own.
Yeah.
He's got guitar riff. I will say, even in the universe, it kind of makes sense for Floyd to be the new Chameleon, because Chameleon with a K, the female Chameleon, has white skin in this new timeline. This Floyd has white skin too. So there's also like that connections. Do you think they're just gonna replace Floyd with Chameleon? Like, I feel like even in lore, they're gonna do like one of those intro dialogues, being like, "How are you doing, Chameleon? Who told you my real name?" or something like that.
Oh yeah. People were actually getting mad at me for that. Like, one guy was like, "How dare you say that? It's so dumb, so blah blah blah." And I'm like, dude, it's just an observation I'm making, and I'm also, furthermore, I'm detailing an observation that other players have made, where they are noticing that he has similar features to Lady Chameleon. He has the same pale skin. I think even like his eyebrows are white, so it's implying he may have white hair underneath too. And could just be literally Chameleon, but he's got a new outfit now. I saw one cute line in the comments saying, well, what if Floyd is just his real name, but Chameleon's the code name? Just like how Scorpion is Hanzo. And I'm like,
yeah, I was thinking something along those
that's
lines,
cute.
because we never did get proper confirmation that male Chameleon is Saurian. He obviously is, but they never said it.
Yeah.
So they could always
Yeah.
just go, "Oh, he's some kind of experiment or something," and so they have an excuse to change up anything of his backstory. But also, in recent years, they've had this weird obsession with everyone has to have a real name. The Sub-Zeros need a real name. Scorpion needs a real name. Reptile needs a real name. And so it would not surprise me if they went, Chameleon's his code name, but he's going to kind of phase out of use in that because we've got the other Chameleon as well. He's just going to go by his real name, Floyd, which is unfortunate, because then if he ever goes up against like a DC character, it's going to sound like they're talking about Deadshot.
Floyd is a very common name, yes.
True.
Personally, I think it would have been really cool if, instead of, maybe in addition to Floyd or something, if they'd been like, here's multiple bosses that harken back to all the various secrets. So, remember all those conditions for fighting classic Reptile in the original MK1? Well, you do that and you get to fight MK1 Reptile, which is Reptile with Scorpion's moves, with the MK2 model, but recolored for Reptile. And if you manage to beat him, then you get that outfit for Reptile, MK2 Reptile.
Oh, that's how you. I'm like, that's pretty cute. That's pretty cute.
Hmm.
I was about to send that one, dog.
Just love this stupid meme.
Why fight Chameleon and Floyd? don't fight.
It's the best. This guy reacting to it. Oh.
Someone did an impressive edit for like well, I guess for you too.
You are Floydless.
One last thing I do want to kind of bring up with Floyd that I think is very interesting is because Lothiany is the ultimate Floyd CEO, basically gathering all this information, gathering all this spreadsheet, completely helping everybody out. He helped me out basically, which was like amazing. He has been also looking through some older tweets, which he found some interesting things with Ed Boon. You guys remember the poll Ed Boon did, truth or troll?
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember? Like the first question on the truth or troll, poll basically.
Yeah, it was about Floyd, I'm guessing.
It was basically about Floyd. He's like, we're gonna make like a new ninja like color that's never been seen before, and I think it was really 50-50 about if it's truth or troll basically. So that was basically Ed's hint to talk about Floyd. Let me just find these tweets because there's a couple of pretty interesting ones.
So is that the only one that was actually real, and not just Ed bullshitting?
No, there's actually more than you expect. Here we go. This is the which is actually more interesting. Here's the poll that Ed Boon posted. What do you call it? There will be a new color ninja introduced in MK1. Then in 2022, in a Q&A, basically, ask me stuff. Someone said, "Will you ever create a new ninja character for Mortal Kombat?" Ed Boon should have replied, "Yes, I honestly would make a pink ninja and name him Floyd. No kidding."
Yes. Yeah.
And the coolest thing is, here's a tweet of Ed Boon saying, "Why is there no pink MK ninja named Floyd?" And whatnot. Yeah. This was made in 2012.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently this has been something he's wanted to do for a while.
Yeah. True. I saw this one. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We know he's wanted it for a bit. And it was finally time. It's perfect. He is the Rainbow Warrior. Yes.
So I guess if he's ever going to be a fleshed out character in a future game or not, we will see. But for me, I'm going to always have a special heart for this fucking guy who brought me so much misery and pain and love.
But yeah, I spit on you, Floyd.
It fits so perfectly, just reptile all over the Floyd font.
It is a very clever, some of those profile images you can use are actually very cleverly memes. Like the ones with the character just staring at you. Well, I'm in from NetherRealm too. Some of them are just perfect memes, but just staring at you. Is funny.
Yeah.
And then the reptile spitting in the direction of your background image is also very clever because you can spit on whatever you put over there. It's very smart.
Yes.
I also love the cute chibi version of characters. That was also smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can unlock those with the character mastery.
I have Chibi Noob Saibot for mine because I think he's very fun to play in this game. Yeah.
Ah, yes. I might consider playing him too. He does seem very fun. I've been watching a lot of Honeybee. I don't mean to hog all the attention because I know I've been talking so much, but you guys mind if I briefly talk about my holiday?
I do not. I will just watch Rips Arena in the background.
What?
I'll still be listening.
Ironically, by the way, Tronadog, while on holiday, I actually watched a lot of content. I watched the recent the Rips Arena finale, the top 16, the whole way through, just basically while waiting. I have to bring this up. Wait, do you care about spoil? I'm not gonna spoil anything.
I do care about spoilers, you son of a gun.
Yeah.
But the point is, there is a very prominent Ermac player who is super strong and is very good with its cancels and combos.
Yeah.
He actually uses Janet Cage And I don't mean just for the punches. I mean he actually uses the puppet master like Janet
Smart.
Cage.
Because Ermac, along with some other characters, including Conan, if you land the parry with Conan, you have time to summon Janet Cage to do the her little individual attacks and stuff, which could make Conan even more busted because of all his restands. It's just about learning it and also mastering NetherRealm's bizarre use of hit stun. I don't know why they made the hit stun so weird, especially in a game like this where the combos are meant to be ridiculous and crazy. Some of the cameo characters, even if you kind of work around the game to hit the opponent earlier, it still won't combo because they don't want it to. They want it to not be infinites and stuff, I guess, but it doesn't got to be an infinite. You could just let it combo. I don't know. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? How they recover instantly from some hits, they can hold block, and after you land the cameo hit, you can't follow up after it, when reasonably you should be able to. Yeah, stuff like that is what makes Janet Cage kind of tough to combo with. But characters like Ermac, who can hold him in the air for a long time, Rain can do it, which is insane, and also Conan. Anyone with crazy stun can summon Janet and do those fun loopy combos, which are
You'd
awesome.
think Sub-Zero can, but that freeze is not long enough.
No, they purposely have... People have joked that Sub-Zero's not bad. He's just the only character they tried really hard to not make overpowered. And it shows. Everything about him has thought and balance put into it, so he can't abuse it. Then you have other characters that show up and just have one thing they can abuse over and over again, like Sindel's hover and other things,
Yeah.
Dang, I just watched the clip
what
you're
I'm
talking
trying to
about. I watched Ermac do crazy Janet combos twice in the round just to lose a Sindel zoning in the first round only.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn.
But the thing is, though, he gets that combo down 90% of the time successfully, 50%.
Yeah.
So it's oh wow, they finally, because Shonodog, you've been kept saying finally, let me see someone do it, and he actually he does it very consistently. Yeah,
it's always been a viable option. The problem is NetherRealm players, even the competitive ones, for whatever reason,
hard.
they don't like the extra effort. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah,
they'd
it's
rather have
hard.
the really consistent stuff that's only slightly less damaging. Which on the one hand I get, but I'm just jealous that other fighting games have a handful of players that are pros that we know about who don't mind picking those ridiculously hard characters and doing really cool stuff with them at tournaments and whatnot. It's rare to see that in Mortal Kombat tournaments. It's almost always the same 5 characters that are not unga bunga, but very much consistent. So it's easier to win consistently with them. Almost nobody's trying the difficult stuff. Who dares call me?
Oh, you got a phone call?
It's probably a scammer.
It's time to find out about the scam. Dun, 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 the dramatic camera movement.
Yep.
Yup.
Scammer. Ugh. The camera's doing work.
Nice. So after I got Floyd, I then went to play Fortnite with the Force Snake. Got to play as Godzilla before I went on to my vacation. And the vacation, I would say, is like this. Half of it was very fun, and the other half, I was sick as fuck. Like very bad, stomach ache, kind of a sick, basically. And,
Gotcha.
And I mean, hurled, kind of sick.
I thought you were saying, yo, this holiday is sick, bro. No, you.
No. I actually got sick.
Yeah, this holiday was sick,
what's
bro.
super funny is within the 6 days, it's our entire family got sick, but in different periods of time. So the vacation starts, my brother gets sick. 2 days later, my mom gets sick. Third and fourth day, I get sick. The final day, my dad gets sick. It was we all had switching turns for when we get sick, when we have fun, basically. So it's if I wasn't sick that day, I was having a good time. If I was sick for those 2 days, I wasn't having a good time. But the other 3 were having a good time, basically. Lots of scenery seen, lots of fun stuff that I did. One highlight I will show you guys is I posted this on Twitter just yesterday. Middle of the road, saw a pig.
Are they in the middle of the road? I guess you can honk.
One more.
We need you to leave. Hey, get out of there!
What?
Oh, the pig! The little guy is getting. Fun is getting scared. Oh wait, it's moving. It's moving. You want to run it over? Bye bye.
Oh my god.
What an experience.
And we just can't drive through until the pig is gone. So
I love that clip.
you
I
guys
was
can watch
watching
that video
that earlier, actually. Yeah.
But yeah, so Pretty fun overall experience, I would say. Just going all around like Taiwan, just looking around sceneries, looking at aquariums, and then throwing up and like being sick on the bed. And yeah, that was my little short vacation. And now I'm back and pumped and ready to work. And I am done hogging up time. Now it's time for you, Snake. It's time for your big old topic, Snake.
To fill this silence, I'm just saying I wish I had a family that took me on cool trips every year. Anyway.
So sad. Well, yeah, Snake, it's time for your big topic. You put it on the list.
What, that?
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Sonic and Mr. Knuckles.
Now you're just losing. Did you go to McDonald's to get that
Yes.
like other one?
I intend to go again to try and get Tails, and I don't know if they have a Shadow one, but I'd
Yeah.
like to get them all.
They have to have a shadow one. What the heck? That's like one of the big marketing points. Come on.
This is one of the biggest flaws of McDonald's and other things. They have these toys that are for kids, but they should know it's going to be swarmed by adults that want these collectibles. Yeah.
I mean, at least they make enough of them to where it's not going to get all scalped.
True. I saw that recent Costco fiasco with the Pokemon. People were all just taking giant chunks of Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I saw that recently. I saw a video of like he's called Disguised Toast talking about like the economy with Pokemon cards and how like insane the value is of that and why people are doing that at Costco. Apparently, it's like some of those Pokemon cards go for like thousands of dollars, like and whatnot if you can get them, or not even opening the pack themselves can be very expensive. Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic and Nucky.
So yeah, I finally got around to seeing Sonic 3. Hooray!
Woo! What did you think?
It's really good. I don't know if I'd say I like it over the second one. I'd need to rewatch both again, but I really enjoyed it because you have to keep in mind. I mean, I grew up on Sonic, but I kind of like phased out of it in the late 90s, and then I got back into it through the adventure games. So when this film comes out and it's cribbing mostly from Adventure 2, I'm like,
yeah,
blah. I'm actually considering making a video of scripted it. So we're going to make a video where I talk about like my predictions for where the films are going to go. Unfortunately, I can't be the cool guy who's like, I reckon the next film's going to be based on these games because, well, we got the post-credit scene. We already know what they're doing for the next film. And yes, I was correct in that.
You did kind of predict that. That's interesting.
Yeah, but unfortunately, no one's going to believe me.
I'm interested that they're going to kind of go a little backwards with how they're telling the film because, well, okay, we all three of us seen it, so we're going to have spoilers for Sonic 3, everybody. Spoilers here, basically. Everyone's seen it, basically. Post-credit scene, Amy shows up. Well, he beats up a bunch of Metal Sonics.
Yeah.
That's obviously referencing Sonic Boom, right?
CD, you mean the game that Sonic Boom was the
My
main
fucking
theme
bad,
of.
not Boom. CD.
They're never gonna. I'm sure they'll reference the video game Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric at some point in some comedic way. They reference Sonic 06 in the Knuckles show, for fuck's sake.
I said Sonic's Boom because of the song. My bad, because I know Sonic Boom.
But
Sonic
yeah, that is a reference to
Yeah.
Sonic CD. That's where both
Wait,
those
what did they
do.
reference in this TV show about Sonic 06? This I'm interested in.
No. Because you know the meme, the flames of disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flames
Is
of
this supposed to be the Iblis trigger?
Yes, that's what the flames of disaster are. It's Iblis.
I see.
So
That's funny.
I mean, there are some things that avenues they can't necessarily go down. Like Chief Pachacamac, he's the one who was like, we're going to invade the Chow Nation and just kill all the Chow to get the emeralds. Obviously, that doesn't gel with the character we see in the Knuckles show. So I don't think they're going to go there if they pull from Adventure.
I would say definitely like because Sonic 1 was super original, but Sonic 2 was like a little bit of the in-game universe of Knuckles, and then like a little bit of like, but mostly this one I would say is a lot of like Sonic Adventure 2 points that they used,
and also
very interesting.
Also some very specific imagery from Shadow the Hedgehog, like the shot of Sonic collapsing in front of Shadow, or when Shadow picks up a gun, has a motorbike.
So cool. The motorcycle with the gun. It's like, oh my gosh.
Just
Very
wild
minimal
shit.
use of gun because they're like, we don't want to have too much gun in this movie. But
Yeah, it's a little laser gun still, but still,
Yeah.
I think it's cool. It's cool.
That bit got me wondering about with the Maria thing. Is like, is she gonna get shot with a laser gun? That seems more violent somehow. but then they were like, no, we're gonna. She dies in an explosion. It's like, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. There is actually one. I thought I kind of wish it was like sadder, but that's still not bad. Wait, that sounds terrible. It's not a bad death or whatnot. But I had someone made a detailed like analysis saying like they didn't take Gerald and like Shadow out of there, and just like people implied like, oh, they just left Maria's body to burn there. Like that's actually really dark if you think of it that way.
Huh.
In the base.
Sorry. It was like, they're already dead. I mean,
It's actually kind of interesting because in the games, the gun commander was on the Ark, but he was a child. He was younger than Maria. But here it's like, no, he's an adult. It's like, how fucking old is he? It's still 50 years. So this guy must be like 70.
Yeah.
He don't look it. Or maybe he's just got really good genetics.
Here's a question: did he survive? I'm very curious. Did you think he survived after he died at the Chow Garden? I have no idea, honestly.
Well, I feel like the fact that the woman isn't really that surprised to see him when Tom's disguised as him suggests he did survive.
Yeah, I would feel like he did survive. Although it's honestly, that whole scene was very funny. Just like him walking into the shower garden, all very serious. Time to explain this whole backstory to you guys. It's like, while Sonic is still cracking jokes.
And,
It's one of those, like-
and children come up and reference Pokemon in a Sonic movie. You can do that? Is that allowed? Yes, he does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika. Idris Elba. He's a joy.
Konnichiwa. That joke is terrible, but I love how we're memeing it, basically.
Yeah, I love the way they took Live and Learn and made it into Shadow's leitmotif, and how it connects to his current state as a character. Like it comes from Maria playing it on the guitar, and and they don't even make a big deal out of that. It's just you see that at the start. Okay, that's where the music comes from, but they don't have a big bit later on where she's playing. It goes, oh, that's a good song, Maria. What's that called? It's like that. They're just like, we've established it. We can move on. And then he's got this very used very sinisterly in many scenes early on because he's a bad guy. And then at the end, it's the cool rocking version which has some of the lyrics too for the ending of the film.
For the fans.
Because now he's a
For the
hero
fans.
and it's changed. It's like, yeah, I want to see them do more stuff from the games because, like, really, I think the only music they've actually pulled from the games are Green Hill Zone, which is used in the trailer and in the original film. I think they brought back that piano track for this film for one scene. And Live and Learn is used.
There are fans who say I barely can hear it, but apparently when Sonic was running in England, right? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when he was running in England, apparently Escape from the City slightly plays there.
Oh yeah, a tiny sliver
Tiny
of it.
bit. Yeah.
I'm glad they're embracing it a bit more, but I want to see them really go all in and put in a lot more music from the games because it's one of the things that people will always agree on, and people will often say this: no matter how bad the Sonic game is, the music's still always good. In fact, sometimes it's disproportionate. Sonic 06 has a great soundtrack, but the game is dog
Sonic
shit.
is one of the best soundtracks.
Yeah.
Yes, honestly. Yeah, honestly. It's like no reason to be that good in that bad of a game.
I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the characters though, because they're adding more and more CG characters. So the budgets are going to go up and up. But also, they're having more characters in the main cast. We've already seen with this one how they had to take a bunch of the side characters from the last one and go, we get cameos from them, and it's not even really them because we have so many characters to focus on.
Oh, that's true.
Because right now we have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Eggman, Professor Gerald. You could even argue Stone. And then you got Tom and Maddie, is it?
Maddie.
Yeah, so that's like 9 main characters. Now we're going to be getting Amy, and the Metal Sonics are going to be in it. Gerald's not in it, of course, but there's going to be a lot of Metal Sonics. So that's a lot of characters to keep track of. I think it would be for the best if Shadow becomes not part of the main cast. Like, Amy can join because she's part of the main quartet, but Shadow should be more like in Generations where he shows up at the end to help out, but he's otherwise just off doing his own thing. I feel like he shouldn't join the main cast where he's in every film constantly. Just let him do his own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that'd be for the best.
Yep.
And yeah, obviously I got hyped when they played Live and Learn. A lot of people were really down on the depiction of Gerald, but I feel like it kind of works because obviously he's not this goofball in the games, but
it's very different. Yeah,
but
very interesting.
Gerald becomes a villain.
Of course,
you can't dispute it. Like, yes, most of what we see of him is when he's a good person. And they did in later games flesh it out more, especially in like Shadow Generations, because he was a good man.
I really like that in Shadow Generations.
Yeah.
What you see him before he goes mad. Yeah. That's really sad about him.
But like the story of SE2 is his granddaughter got killed, and so he wanted to destroy humanity. All the events of the game happened because Gerald wanted to destroy the world. He became a villain. So him being portrayed as a villain is not out of character. And his characterization is just in line with the way they portray Eggman in these films.
Yes.
So in that respect, it is the core of his character is still there. He's faithful, and he's not as goofy as Eggman is in this. There's still points where they're interacting. You can tell Gerald is the more serious of the two. But I would say it is very faithful. It's just that they've put the character in a scenario we've never seen him before. We've never seen him as an active character when he was evil. We've just seen his posthumous his plans come into fruition. I do find it really funny though. I know that they were never going to have him get executed by firing squad, obviously, like in the games. However, I do find it really funny that Tails and Knuckles alongside Eggman just murder him.
Oh yeah,
they just murder a human being. Like Tails, 8-year-old Miles Tails Prower is one of the 3 participants in the murder of a man.
Yeah.
Yay, I saved the world.
Like, what?
Listen, I love this because I've never been that Batman principled person where I'm like, you can't kill anybody no matter what. It's like, no, this man is going to blow up the planet. Killing him is very viable. In fact, I would argue letting him live is way too risky because he might just try again.
I'm going to say this as a
Good job, Tails. You're a hero. National treasure.
Tails is a national treasure. But the thing I want to say that I made a tweet after this, right after I watched this movie, because I really like this movie. I think all 3 Sonic movies, I kind of have the same feeling towards them, but this one probably is still my favorite. There is a very interesting, you could take this as a compliment or a critique, depending on who hears this. But because this movie is like probably the most emotional out of all the films, like because actually like quite a lot of like pretty dark themes happen in this film and all that kind of stuff. But I almost feel like the comedy was too good when compared to the dark stuff. Like I was having way too much fun that I couldn't feel too sad for when some of the darker things happen. Because Jim Carrey's Eggman and Gerald, so funny. I was having such a great time looking at those two on screen. Like, because that is the kind of humor for some people that doesn't work for me. I was just like, okay, this is their movie. I'm just having a blast just watching them while Dr. Stone is in the background like, oh, Robotnik's forgotten about me. That kind of humor and whatnot.
And it's like you get the end scene where it's like, yes, Dr. Eggman is going to send out a video call to Earth so he can tell his minion you're the only friend I ever had, basically. The guy, like, it's clear that like the guy playing Stone, cause he's made jokes about it in that appearances, but clearly he's playing it up as if this guy is flat out gay for Eggman, like.
Oh yeah,
straight up.
Definitely.
And so it's like Eggman's basically saying this guy who's in love with him, like, you're the only person who ever cared about me, as he sacrifices his life to save the Earth. And it's like, and it works. Like, how does this work? Also, the Eggman suit is immaculate. I was fine with the design for the last one, but this one, oh my god, I want that outfit.
Compare what he looked like in the first movie and then now. This is like that's the Eggman we wanted. We actually got to see him turn into that, basically.
And I prefer that. I prefer that he's slowly devolving into Eggman throughout the trilogy. I find that hilarious. And I'm not even sure if they I'm not sure if that was even their plan, because don't forget the original CGI Sonic and how he looked. This could have just been their modern take on Eggman in the first movie. But then with the second and third, they were like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to have him devolve into the fat, chubby man we all know and love, who's also deranged with the crazy mustache.
There was like a mid-credit scene, I think, in the first one where we do see Eggman, where we do see him bald with the goggles down and that, so he does look more like the traditional character. So I think that was the aim, was to slowly do that, and you know, props to Jim Carrey for being okay with that, for being like, yeah, I'm gonna transform into this monster by the end. Basically.
Okay, he played the Grinch. Listen, he played the Grinch.
True.
I'm very still blown away the fact that he actually somehow plays both.
He plays off
the
himself.
Best fourth wall break in a movie history. It's like two people play the same character at the same time as he looks at the camera.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
1000%.
Again, weird flex for me, but I'm just saying, like, the humor is like way too good for like how dark it is.
Yeah, there
like,
were
I
some
actually prefer
parts
the
that were
humor
still
compared to the
delivered.
emotional things.
Like early on in the film, that one line goes really hard, and the presentation is done super well. It's when Sonic's like, "I'm really glad I have you guys. If I didn't, who knows how I would have turned out." And it just cuts to Shadow. I'm like, that's such a good way to show like the comparison of like good nurture versus like losing everything and how you turn out. And I'm like, yeah, that's a very good comparison there.
For me, it felt a little too on the nose with how they presented it. For me, I feel like Tom poking Sonic's chest, and then I think Maria doing the same for Shadow. I think that was enough. But then this is a film for kids, so you want kids to understand the theme, so you might need to be a bit.
The scene where actually Sonic was about to kill Shadow, and Shadow says, "Yeah, do it, right here." I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty good. I actually really like that one when they did that callback there.
Oh, sorry.
I'm also glad that they don't make a big deal out of it, but they do acknowledge the Knuckles show, where it's like Wade is basically Knuckles' apprentice, because that's kind of what the show was. And so it's like, yes, I've left the Master Emerald with my apprentice, and it's Wade just fucking around playing hockey with the Master Emerald. What a dipshit!
Yeah. You're gonna have to take this emerald. You're gonna have to fight through the emerald. Okay, I guess that we're done with this.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Wade. Did you actually watch the show, by the way, or did you just see clips of it?
The whole thing.
Oh.
It's fine. It's important to know what you're getting in for going in. To not expect a show about Knuckles. It's about Wade with Knuckles kind of mentoring him. You need to understand that going in. Otherwise, you're going to be really disappointed. But the show itself is fine. The biggest problem is once we're introduced, like there's a bit where like Knuckles talks about like the destruction of his tribe and whatnot, and like Wade's family's Jewish, and his mum makes a comparison, and it's like, this isn't even the first time that a comparison between the echidnas and the Holocaust have been made in this franchise. This has happened before. It's strange, and I don't like it.
I remember one thing I've heard about this show is that like what is it, that Spanish show in the universe that Shadow was watching, do you remember this? Like It is Qua or something like that, because they introduced it in that TV show first. So it's like, then they brought it back into the movie again.
Oh, one thing I was a bit disappointed with was that they never acknowledged the fact that Keanu Reeves plays Shadow, because Sonic is a fan of Keanu in the first film. They referenced Keanu in the Knuckles show, which obviously would have been made after they had signed Keanu Reeves on to play Shadow. So the fact that they didn't do anything with that is a bit disappointing. But that's like the biggest criticism of the film, the fact they don't make a fourth wall break about who is playing Shadow. And he's great. I was a little worried after his
he's great
after his appearance in the game, because his delivery in the game is way worse. But he's good in this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the celebrity performance where I'm looking at and go, yeah, I see why people would want this, because like Idris Elba's Knuckles is like, what? That's ridiculous. That's silly. But of course it does work.
Then you play him.
But with Keanu, it's like, yeah, Shadow is John Wick. Like, of course it's gonna work.
The voice works. The voice works for this character even before the movie came out. Like,
as long as he tries, it'll work. And clearly he did.
As long as he tries. True. Yeah. Overall, I'm glad you liked the movie. I felt like you'd like since you liked the first two. I feel like you would also like this one.
It's so strange to watch a video game movie and be like, yeah, I want another one of these.
It's so strange to see a video game movie franchise and it's like consistently been good.
Yeah,
like wow.
I think the only other franchise, if we're going to consider it a franchise, if it hits 3 films, the only other ones I can think of are, I guess you could say Mortal Kombat, but he did reboots in between. There's Resident Evil.
But Mortal Kombat. Would you say? Are you talking about you like them or successful or?
Well, if I broadly, how it's weird to see It's not often you see ones where you have a franchise and it's actually good. Most of them are just shit, like Resident Evil. Like the only good ones are the CG films. Every live action one is like mid to dog shit. And then you have.
I've heard the first one is
It's fine.
not bad. Yeah.
The second one is alright, but if you're a bit more of a game purist, you're gonna dislike 2 for how it fucks with the plot of the third game. Then you have. Blood Rain somehow got 3 films, all done by Uwe Boll, all with different actresses. It's weird. and then there's.
I know you don't like the Mario movie, but that's quite beloved.
Yeah, but it's not a franchise.
Oh, okay, multiple. Right, you're right.
Yeah.
FNAF is making a second movie soon, so we'll see how that goes. People like that.
It's just it's kind of weird. It's like the ones that should be the easiest to do, Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat. They're the ones that should be the easiest to get right, and somehow they seem to be way harder to do compared to Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon, and Five Nights at Freddy's live action movies. All of them, and it's like these are the ones that are the more successful, more popular ones. How are these the success stories? Yeah. They're the ones you look at and go, that's not going to work. No one thought the Sonic live-action movie would work. No one thought Pokemon or FNAF were going to be any good. And then people are like, no, these are the good ones, somehow. Whereas the simpler ones are dog shit or never get made, like Metal Gear and Sleeping Dogs. Except that now the Shang-Chi actor is trying to get Sleeping Dogs movie made.
Oh, yeah, I saw that news. Interesting.
What a weird little world we live in.
Indeed. Yeah, I guess like we can get close to like closing this off. I will I was gonna bring this up in the very beginning of our episode, but we kind of immediately went to the Devil May Cry and Conan conversation. But I just wanted to bring up some lovely fan comments that we've gotten in our episode, because this is related to the True Underdogs into Fish comments, basically. So I got on Twitter, True Underdog clearly is projecting his feelings about the fish lady onto you, bro. When responding to me, basically.
Yeah.
And then in the YouTube comments, we got people saying, like, well, we know who the furry in the trio is.
Apparently.
Then someone writes, like, because I shout, I'm not into fish pretty loudly in the video, and then someone wrote in the comments, like, he sounded so offended. And then we got 2 minutes in, and gooning had already been said. Truly, the podcast of all time.
Yes, the podcast of all time.
That's gonna be our new quota. We've had the other word not be is the quota. Now gooning is gonna be our quota, apparently. And finally, one of the best comments we've gotten here is, not even a minute in, and can someone please lock up True Underdog? Man needs to be put on a watch list for fish.
What? No, it's not that aspect of the character. Anyway,
I'm sure you like Mifa from Breath of the Wild, right? There, True Underdog.
Never played it.
Look at that fish lady.
Never played it.
Nah,
I don't know who you're talking
about. Sonic, everyone prefers Sidon. Come on, get with it.
I've seen people simp over the fish man in Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
You've never seen people simp over the fish lady?
No, I've seen too many memes about the guy. Like him is in the water just floating, and the camera's like zooming in on him. Because for some reason there is a running meme, because a lot of romantic films came out back to back and shows where like the women are like in love with the fish/merman. So there's that meme of like, what's with women and fish lately? Like these women are into fishmen. And even in Mass Effect, the character that's meant to be like the romance option for women in Mass Effect 2 is a fish-esque dude, the green guy with the big black eyes. And he was designed that way after actually asking women what they like. Because originally, he was a dude with like red war paint and just hyper masculine. And they thought they nailed it. Like, oh yeah, that's what women want. We did a great job. Then they tested it, and all the women said like, no, we don't like this. They're like, oh shit, we missed the mark big time. Well, what do you want? And by the time they were done, it was a fish man. So I must ask, what's the deal with ladies and
is
fish?
Is this the guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. What's the deal with women and fish?
To be fair, though, like, I think I've seen almost every character, all those alien creatures, like, somebody is going to like one of those alien characters. I feel like I've seen them. Like,
except
every
the
alien
Vulture.
creature that exists in Mass Effect.
Well, I'd say except the Vulture, but there's probably some weird like freak out there who's like, I want to fuck the Vulture. Or a volus.
What's the vulture? The vortures? Is that the vorcha or the vor?
Yeah, cha.
Oh, the vorcha. Oh yeah, I'm surprised. I feel like some freaks will like this. I say it so nonchalantly. Yeah, I didn't even know this existed.
Anyway,
It's a very interesting way to end our episode.
don't lock me up, okay? I'm into like the lady features, not the fish aspect.
Yes. Look at
the
him
la-
already looking up excuses.
Dog, the lady watchers, you said?
Features?
Watchers, feet,
The-
ladies' features, feet.
Features.
Yay.
Oh god.
Sus underdog once again.
Yay.
Abe Sapien
Now-
up
now-
in here.
so-
Sonic, clip that out of context. Make him say lady feet.
I'm into like the lady feet.
Yay. Now all three of us have our freaky fetishes: scaly, feet, and fish. Woo! Let's go! Yay!
There's also that guy from Darkstalkers, Bizarrely Handsome Fishman.
Bizarrely handsome fish man. Yes.
And that's not me saying that. It's a
Bizarrely
quote from the
handsome.
actual like cartoon or something, right?
Show.
Like bizarrely
Yes.
handsome for a fish man.
There's like a compilation of that. It's really funny.
Are we done? I want to leave.
All right. Well, prepare everybody because next episode we're gonna get into the fight. Okay. Bye everybody. See ya.
Dude, I think I can take Sonic, but then you're gonna see Snake on the top ropes just elbow dropping me. Or he'll defeat me with his words. He'll go for the emotional
he's
damage.
gonna do like a 20 combo with like that sword there.
Oh, you just know that Snake, if he was a character, would fight like Phoenix, right? He'd just be pointing and like speech bubbles will come out and like hit you. He'd just roast you.
Oh, so
I'd be like a bard.
so like the
I'd be like a bard in Baldur's Gate with cutting words.
what is that? Sorry, I can't believe I forgot her name. Velma from Scooby-Doo, from Multiverses. Isn't that what she does too? Right? That's her moveset. We can talk about Multiverses in another episode.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got till May.
True.
Okay, that's the end. Okay, we're done. We're done. Yay, episode's not too long. We didn't reach 3 hours. Woo!